It's okay. We're here now. We did the intros. We're live tech troubleshooting because something randomly happened during the intros. Hi. Oh. Welcome to DieFall Ruin Auric. So I'm gonna do my whole intro spiel now.
Okay, I got you.
You got it? Okay. Do you need to? Do you want to type it or you want to say it?
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna send her a DM. You
okay.
Keep going.
Excellent. Welcome! DieFall presents Ruin, an original 5th edition D&D cooperative campaign featuring 3 heroic odysseys to escape hell. 3 parties embark on unique journeys through the many layers of hell where their actions will lead to consequences for one another. This is Team Auric, the one that's way ahead.
Hi!
So that's good.
Wait, what?
You guys are like 4 episodes ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
So
what?
Yeah.
Oh, can we have like a fun, dumb cabbage adventure?
You want a cabbage episode?
I don't know. But since we deserve a reward.
I mean, do you want to derail everything and just do something stupid? I could do that.
No.
There are 3 ways our viewers can interact with the game. First, you can invoke fate by using !fate for various different effects. $2 for +2 to a roll, $5 for a reroll, $10 for a nat 20, $20 for a draw from the deck of many, and $69 to invoke chaos. Please be sure to identify the players you want to influence. Second, every 10 retweets will grant a natural 20 to a random player at the table.
We're really close to our second one. If anybody wants.
Yeah,
to
we've already got the first one, so you can find the link in the chat now. Thank you. Third, patrons may participate in various minigames in the Shard Discord, central location of our campaign. Again, eventually we'll get there. Probably Auric first. These minigames affect world building, story setting, NPCs, and future events. Use !Patreon in the chat for more information. We will have our second Patreon update and crisis rolls tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time here on this channel. I'm sure no one will die. Nice. Yeah. Okay. That being said, this is a Dungeons and Dragons game where me and some of my friends roll some dice and yell at each other for about 3 hours. Does anyone want to volunteer to do a recap? I'm gonna let Stella is exempt from this while she clicks on things in the background. But everyone else, however, is not. Does anyone want to do it? Oh, wow, we got it. Okay, so it's nose ghost, apparently. Wow, Pen, man, that's great. Oh, look at that.
No, I'm joking. I'll totally do it.
Yeah? Well, I mean,
I'll totally do it.
So you get to tell this from the perspective of Pen. So for some of it, I know what it is.
Okay, so you know what? It'll make things easier. It'll make things easier. Okay. So when last we left off on our adventure, I remember our party, our compatriots. We had traveled a good ways. We had recently fought off brigands and had found a decent place to camp. And then we decided to make our way to the next town to try and see if we could reach the lighthouse and save this mysterious dragon that had encountered us prior and was dying. When we got to the town, it seemed as though everyone was pretty much in the same haze that we were in when we were back at Bread Battle and the Duck Inn. Everyone seemed, or what is now the B Perennial II Inn. But we discovered that apparently blunt force trauma can awaken someone from this haze. And the same blunt force trauma can seemingly maybe put them back. But while all that was going on, we were trying to figure out a way to cross the lake and get to the lighthouse. And somewhere in there, I started to hear a very strange voice in the back of my head. And that voice was telling me that if I didn't step in, it would harm some of them. Some of my friends, some of my closest friends. So I decided to separate myself from the group and go to the bottom of the lake. Right? 'Cause you know
Go
how.
to the bottom of the lake. Yeah, that's one way to say what happened there. A man took a long walk off a short pier and ended up at the bottom of some water. Oh
But
my
to be fair,
gosh.
I was perfectly safe.
You,
If I were human,
you
it
were,
would have killed me.
you were indeed safe. And so while you were doing that, I've updated B perennial the second's token, so that's good. That's all done.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
And then I get to upload this one into this spot, and we've got some pretty cool and fun stuff. And I guess I'll bring it up for everyone to observe. Let's take a look here. Boom, boom,
So
boom.
everyone see
Yelp.
the new token. Wow.
Where is she?
I
That's-
made it big.
Wow.
I made it big.
Made her big.
I made her big. Obviously, it is in a significantly higher resolution in the actual art. I just literally clicked and dragged this shit to be large. Okay?
Oh, wow.
But look at her. She's perfect. Yeah.
Perfect.
So that's
got the
that's
glow.
Finally got
the
around to
new
drawing my character.
the new B token, which is now much larger than everyone else, and she will squish them.
As it should be.
As it should be. Excellent. So, Pen, you'll pick up our first of the, I believe, 2. Let me double check on this. Our first of the natural 20s for the evening from the retweets there. So yeah,
Yay.
well done. Yeah, we
retweeting.
keep doing it. So we spent a good amount of time in the last episode basically just traveling from the encampment that we had been at the previous episode to this small town. And you know what? I'll pull that up again as well. Let's go take a look at the big boy map. Oh yeah, that's all on fire.
Oh, the fire.
Don't worry about it. It's just fine.
Yeah, so we made our way from the camp to this small fishing village known as Averon in an attempt to then cross this lake / bay / something, whatever this is, over to the lighthouse there, where our dragon friend may be. That red arrow here, this represents Pen's long walk out into the water.
Made it a
wrong
decent way.
direction.
It's not the wrong way.
It's like Dead Man Pirates of the Caribbean walk.
Yes.
Across the bottom.
Shouldn't we roll for the retweet Nat 20? Nope, we need one more. And I'm just giving it to people who do the recap because they volunteer, and that's very nice of them.
Cool.
Yeah. But here we are in Averon. It's kind of quiet. It's been pretty rainy, which is kind of the first instance of that since we've gotten here. That there's rain. And it's not always sunny out here in Gadarin, I guess. So before Balra had to run away last time, Balra said that she was going to go look for our friend, the Knight of Death, who had not arrived yet from returning to the camp and looking for Balra's scalpel. Scalpel?
Scalpel.
Scapula. Scapula?
Yes,
Need
find my
some
shoulder
coffee.
blade.
Scalpel. the scalpel. Okay. So, Balra, as you make your way away from the party, which in seeing them behind you, right, our camera like looks over your shoulder into the drizzle and rain, down onto the docks where we see a very angry old dwarf man stomping his way down the docks towards 3 of our companions, Dressay, Thaddeus, and B, where Dressay has just laid out this dude on the dock and put a blanket over him. You head to the edge of this little town. What do you do? Like, you see the milling about of these people that aren't really all there. It's drizzling, it's raining. I know you're keeping an eye out, so let's roll a perception check.
Sure.
And then while that happens, everyone else roll me a d20 because we hit 20 retweets. Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Oh god, not 11d20, just one, please.
No, roll 11 d20s.
I'll get ahead, I swear.
Thaddeus, you'll pick up the second one there. Nice.
Nice. A 22.
A 22.
I did it.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, sure. We have you looking out over the fields, right? There are some vineyards as well as farming fields out in the distance as you look away from this small town. And you don't see him. You don't see him. It's been hours now. And he's not here. He's not. How long do you want to wait? Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to use my vizier card
Okay.
and ask at Death if he'll listen. Where my knight is.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm gonna hold that for like 5 seconds. Okay? Because I know what that's gonna be now.
Yay!
Awesome. So we flash back over to B, Penn, and Thaddeus and Dressay. And for this, you guys have scooped Penn off the bottom of the water, dragged him onto the boat, returned to the dock to recollect Balra. So Balra, in this intermediate time while you're there and waiting and you ask this question, you pray to death, right? We're going to call it maybe 20 minutes here where you're just like there and waiting while the rest of our party, as we look at them back at the dock, are doing something. Probably like draining Penn's waterlogged body out onto the boat or back into the bay here.
He's got zebra muscles all up and down his legs. Wait, is that like a Michigan thing?
What does that mean?
I know muscles.
I've never heard that
of
before.
Zebra muscles.
That's a new
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, zebra mussels are an invasive species in the Great Lakes of Michigan.
Oh, I thought you meant like he had muscles like human
No.
muscles and he's
Yeah.
a robot.
Like those shelled creatures, yeah.
You
Shelled
mean like that
thing.
Okay.
I was like, are his muscles black and white?
Yeah, that's what I was imagining.
That's what I was thinking.
Like he painted his legs or something, you know? Like, okay.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
No one knows
Great.
what zebra mussels are. Chat, help me out.
Oh my god.
Got
I'm
it.
crying.
Muscles.
Yeah, they're little tiny like barnacles.
Yes, absolutely. All over him.
Okay.
He like
My
comically
headcanon
has
is
like
striped
hair
legs, sorry.
hair made out of like seaweed on him now as well. You know, a bunch of like sticks in all of his gears and joints and things. Yeah. So Penn, you're like plopped down onto the boat here. You'd like start chiseling away at zebra muscles.
I'm just kind of like casually just pulling them off and
Is
dropping.
he still in the net? Because we left him in the net so that he couldn't try to jump in the water again.
Yeah, so he can still like kind of pull them out. So yeah, he's still in the net.
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
He's absolutely still in the net. So you can interrogate him if you want.
All right, 3, 2, 1. What the hell were you thinking walking off of the end of that dock like a nincompoop? Look at me in the face. What's your eyes? You're the green
Mine's
one,
a
aren't
blue.
you? You're
The blue one. You're just making up colors at this point.
No, B
Yeah, it's
is
just like-
colorblind. B is
they're the
colorblind.
color they have
To her
been.
it's green, okay? B is colorblind. To her it's
Okay,
green, okay? So
good,
it
good,
works.
good, good.
I demand that red-eyed rascal come out. He had more sense than this.
So, Penn just kind of stares back for a moment and... Well, if he must. And his eyes turn red, and he just stares back.
There he is. That's the electric energy I need in order to help scrub your body of all this scum.
What is it you require of me?
Lift your arms, sir.
For what reason?
'Cause your pits are all stinky.
I don't perspire like you flesh things do.
I know, but you were in the bottom of a inky dinky stinky lake. And we can't be. You want me to just leave you? You know what? Maybe I'll just leave you alone. Why isn't anybody else talking?
Because when we brought him back up on the boat, I told him I didn't want to have a damn inkling of why he did what he did. I just wanted to move on.
And what's no one's names. What's everyone's names?
Oh, you're
no.
saying, yeah, no one changed their name in Zoom today. It's okay.
Oh yeah, no, I
sorry.
forgot.
Hold
I
on,
forgot
hold
to do it as well. Hold on.
Yeah, I was.
Sorry, we're still like fixing the things on the back end while having this
Yeah.
conversation, but we're good.
Look,
Technical issues.
yeah, fuck tech issues. Anyways, yes, just say is, I guess like helping chip away at Pen's legs where the muscles are, and she's chucking them very angrily into the water.
Pick one up and just yeet it.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
okay.
can eat mussels, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You eat them raw? Because then maybe we could stow them to eat
yes.
later. I mean, or do you cook them?
It's a good question.
I mean, you could cook them.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was just like, because I was like, we can stow it away, right? Because then I'm
I
like
think
mom
the
of the group right now,
first
like
one-
I'm keeping food for everyone. And
The first one you throw back into the water, our new gruff dwarf friend who's piloting this boat looks at you. And goes, hey, keep those. Can make a stew out of them later.
can you grill them?
I said stew. Are you not paying attention?
I don't. Look,
A
I
stew
just want
sounds
to know
fine.
if I'm very much a person who likes to eat on the go, and stew is not very good for on the go. So,
Well, I could pack you an on-the-go stew. Never had one of my stews.
oh,
Gets a
Sure.
little
And
wistful
I'll
and
just
looks
keep, like,
off.
okay, and I'll just keep scraping them into my bag, and also like slapping Pen a little bit.
Thaddeus will assist with magic, removing the muscles so he doesn't dirty his hands.
Okay.
Sorry, good
Okay.
hands.
Okay.
Oh,
Hey, he just got those
okay,
hands back now.
okay.
And I'm doing that thing that like rich women do where they don't want to touch the dog poop on the bottom of their shoe, so they're taking like their credit card and just like using that to
Oh
scrape.
my! Is she
I'm just
using
trying
a
to find.
gem?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Oh,
I don't want to
God.
get it under my nails.
Tug just kind of casually watches you here as he navigates the boat back to the dock. Yeah, you arrive there without much ado, remembering that you need to go pick up Balra and hopefully a night of death somewhere in town before we head back out onto the water, where Tug has said he will take you, a little begrudgingly as long as he gets you out of his beard, towards the old ruined lighthouse across the way. You arrive at the dock, and he looks at you and says, all right then, you got like 20 minutes. Well, I'm just gonna kind of kick you into the water and leave you there. He like throws the mooring line on there. Off with you then.
I don't like being talked to that way, but also I got caught helping steal a boat, and so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, we get back to the dock, and that knocked out dude, still there, still covered in a very damp, like, cloth now.
Do I notice
We set him up
this?
sideways
Oh,
so
absolutely.
he wouldn't drown from the rainwater in his mouth, though, so it's fine.
Right, he's in recovery position.
Yeah.
Mistress A, I don't suppose we can warm the gentleman up. He does not look too
Yeah, you like open it up, he's very pale.
good.
Well, I'll carry him back to his under where he was living, I guess, and
Back into his boat.
yeah, put him on
Okay.
his bed.
Yeah, and you do that, and fortunately, he is breathing, and it kind of gives you a, seas are rough tonight. You place him back in his
Is there a
almost
piece
stolen
of
boat.
paper Is there a piece of paper and pen somewhere? Anything to write with?
Yeah, you know what? He's probably got a bit of
Okay.
paper and some charcoal on the boat where he's got like
Okay,
tallies
cool.
of like how much bait he has left.
All right, cool. I would like to write that he passed inspection. Thank you very much.
Oh my god. Okay. Absolutely. So, you guys go to find Balra?
Yes.
Yeah. Last place we saw her, basically, would be my first start.
Yeah, the town isn't very big. As you kind of look around, you see Balra probably sitting on a rock at the edge of town, staring out towards where you had traveled here from the forest encampment previously.
She's still crying.
Is she still crying?
No, I don't think she's crying. I think she's just like whatever like bone or token she has for her deity for death she has out, and it's like
whoops.
probably palming and kind of just looking more distressed than actually like crying or anything.
Okay. Yeah. And as you approach, we flash our camera back over to Balra, who is saying this prayer to her deity. And you get an answer as you utilize your vizier card from previous. So if you want to go ahead and play that out onto the map here.
I don't know where that is or how to
At the bottom of your screen, you see where it says simply,
above
and there's a
me.
little card. You click that card, it'll open a little thing, and then you click that again, and you drop it here. And then I can go like
you
this and go boop.
Bam!
The vizier card. Yeah. What do you say to death in your question, in your prayer?
Oh, you have to be very specific, don't you? So that's not
Generally.
my question. That's my
That's not my question. It's not my wish. It's not my wish.
Dear Death, how specific do I have to be? No, I asked Death, hi, I hope you're good. Just letting you know. Balra's just, she's like, apologies if I disrupt you. I just wanted to ask if my Death Knight is on his way back to me. Thank you very much.
There's a bit of a pause and there's some time, right? And then you feel this connection that you felt actually a couple of times now, but you never felt in your life. And death speaks to you. I'm sorry, Balra. I'm so sorry. Smoke and cloud on the horizon dip lower to the ground. And just in the distance, you see a large armored man atop a skeletal horse riding at all speed towards the town. Smoke and shadow and shade behind him coalesce into something monstrous. Tentacles, wings, and claws behind him, reaching out to grasp him. He dodges back and forth, avoiding everything that he can. And he approaches you quickly. About 100 feet out, riding as fast as possible, he yells out to you. Lady Balra, get the others! Get to the boat! Get out of here!
I got. Oh no! I mean, she's like panicked, like full, like, are you okay? What happened? And she's gonna like start backing up to the town and like looking over her shoulder to see if she can see her party members.
You see them there now
keep an eye on
looking
him.
at you. The party, you see this now, this monstrous shadowy form lashing out from smoke in the back at the Death Knight as he comes barreling forward here. You can hear him yell out this warning.
All right, Pen, grab her. Let's go. And I'm gonna turn real quick and head back to the boat, man.
I will do exactly that. I will pick up Balra and
Do
keep
we
going.
see this commotion?
That's what I'm saying. You, as the
we guys
group,
see all
you
this.
see all of this happening. Balra has turned around, started running your direction. The Death Knight's still out in the field, on the horse, coming this way, yelling out this warning. Some monstrous, shadowy form behind him, attempting to capture him.
I draw a card.
Okay?
I'm drawing the fate card.
Okay? Yeah, you've had this from previous. The Void and the Skull card that are on the screen right now are two of Jersey's from last time.
He walks up to Balra and he simply says, "This is for you, Miss Balra." And he will undo the event of the Death Knight leaving the party.
I feel like Balra just hears you say that, and it's just like, what is for me? And I feel like Balra is, she came to you guys, but she's not gonna like be like, okay, let's just leave him. Wee! You know?
He just looks at her and says, "He never left your side."
What does this look like? Anything, Joel?
Yeah, the world shifts in front of you here, and we lose a whole lot of time. For our camera and our audience at home, that form, that monster, that shape, the rider in the distance coming towards the town, all of it just rewinds. It all sucks back into the sky. The apology of death just turns to nothing. And we find ourselves in Averon, Death Knight at your side, Balra, the group of you standing in the center of town, looking at a blacksmith shop, thinking about doing something with it here, but not really sure what you wanted to do, if you're going to refire the forge or not.
Do we remember all of the stuff that just happened?
The fate card makes it as if an event had either never happened or changed the entirety of whatever it was. For you,
No.
you have just arrived in Averon, and you are now looking at the city. The moments with Pendulum, Jersey slapping or punching anyone, meeting
Whoa.
Tug, and making a deal with the man to go to the other island. None of that has happened because
What happened?
the Death Knight wasn't with you.
But so
For-
Joel, I remembered when Thaddeus saved me before. I remembered, and the whole party remembered. Is it just gonna be like a chance thing? Yeah.
Potentially, yeah. So you're talking about
Shit.
the
Okay.
different events here, and also hours and hours of time,
Okay.
Yeah.
rather than 4 rounds of combat.
Makes sense.
Joel, I talked to you about something that's gonna completely change that outcome too. Then.
Which is like less than half of, I think it's less than half a minute.
Yes. So what we change is your entire travel from the camp to Averon and all of those events being gone, rather than like this short-term snap of a couple of rounds of combat.
This isn't
Four.
like one of those cards where you can be specific about it, right? Or can you?
It's whatever the wording is. So his wording
It-
was
oh,
he
okay,
never
cool.
left your side. So it changes everything up until that point, as if the Death Knight never went back, as if he was never asked to return.
Got it. Okay.
He's gonna go to the forge.
For I just want to can I just can Balra just kind of have an instinctive feeling to like pat Thaddeus or can I just please in any way?
Sure. Yeah.
Throw
Like,
us a
I
bone,
feel
yeah,
like-
because I don't.
Thaddeus, I
wanna
also
just
need you to
replay.
actually play the
Yeah.
card. And
Oh,
then
I'm sorry.
yeah, and then we're gonna unfortunately
click it?
remove that. So you click on it in above your name, it'll open a little side
Yeah.
thing, then you click and drag it out onto the field.
Oh, can drag. Okay.
Yep.
There you
And we just flip it, it says Fate's card, and then we remove it. Yeah,
feel like
I
Balra just
think
kinda,
there's
grabs
definitely the
onto-
instinctual thing, right? Like you get that lurch of like, okay, something changed, something's different. Like the whole world changed around you, right? Like, and so it's gonna feel a little weird. but you're just not aware of the amount of loss, right?
Okay.
I feel like, I mean, I just, for illustrative purposes, I feel like Balra will just reach over and like grab Thaddeus's arm and be like, I don't know why, but I just feel like right now I need to tell you I appreciate you.
Yeah.
So,
As a side note to that, Balra, you're still aware that you do not have your scalpel.
yeah. Yeah.
But the Knight of Death is indeed with you. As you do that, though, in your mind, Balra, you feel this hiss. It feels like this tea kettle has been on too long. It just starts hissing and then squeals out, and then stops.
She like shivers. Did anybody else? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear like a high pitch like sweet like?
Did I notice or feel anything during this shift? Is there something we can do or no?
During the shift, I feel like because that you did the thing, you feel like you just pulled some bullshit, right? Like you've had the practice of like using immense amounts of power before, and you're like, and you've messed with time before. Yeah. Like it's got that like weird coppery taste in your mouth, right? You're like
Familiar, right?
ah shit. Yeah, it's like that's not good.
I'm just dinging the forge
Okay,
bell.
I can work with that. I'm trying as hard as I can not to like metagame or do anything.
No, it's totally fine. As you ding, yeah, go ahead, Thaddeus.
Sorry. Let me just vocalize this real quick. I'm feeling a little strange right now. Something has just happened. A familiar feeling, Miss Perennial. Do you remember that?
What's that, huh?
That last
around.
night? Before
Do I
we...
remember last night?
The last night. All last night.
Better not be all last night.
That feeling we had, I feel that right now. And I am wanting us to exercise caution in this place.
I just got a
Thaddeus,
weird feeling
dear.
too. I don't know if it's just something in the air or if
Balra, you're hysterical. Thaddeus, we're in hell.
Joel,
Everything can be figured out based on those two realities.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, since I was directly under the influence of being reverted back, could I have, like, if I roll a perception check on if anything is different, or like if we've already experienced this? Well,
What do you mean?
could I get an upper hand in figuring out if that has happened again? What happened to me if it just happened again?
How
It's
strong
okay if
is
not.
her
This is me
copper
just
taste?
this is me just trying to make an argument, right? So
I think you all have the feeling that happened again, right? Like the world gets this weird warbly shift in front of you, and it's like time has shifted, like something went all fucky. I don't think you know what it is because it's been changed now, right?
Does anybody work here?
Yeah, as you're like dinging on the thing, eventually we see Tug, the old dwarf, come stomping up and he's, no, something feels fucking off here.
Hello,
bad.
I would like to commission a scalpel, please.
Why do I feel like I know you?
Do we feel that way?
Yeah, you look at Tug and you're like, man, like, someone in chat put it very perfectly. Why does reality seem like it shifted about an inch to the left? Right? That's like, you're looking at everything here and you're like, fuck, we've done some of this, but it feels
So you-
slightly off.
I
So
was gonna
you
lead a
don't look
pin
or
and be
sound
like,
familiar, but you feel familiar.
Oh,
Feel
you feel
famil-
familiar.
Feel for
You
yeah.
feel
Balra's gonna look at Pin
familiar.
and go, he doesn't have the.
No, he doesn't have the thing. Fuck. Right. What the fuck are y'all doing here? Huh?
He's awake. Interesting.
I assume you are some kind of steward of this place or herald, perhaps?
No, nothing like that, Just an old dwarf that tries to take care of the people in this town, and you lot look like trouble. That one there, the one that's all fiery, looks like they punch innocent people a lot. Maybe torch innocent birds.
You look like you like mussel soup, so...
Actually,
I've had a long ride. It's
I have fresh mussels at the old shark, and I was making a bit of a stew. Yes, I do like mussel stew.
Well, I would
That's
very
what
much
that
like to try
smell
this
is.
mussel soup because
I
I've
would
never
as well.
had any before.
It's
Perhaps
about
we
to
can
rain
restock.
even harder. We should go to the old shark and have a bowl of stew and discuss this further.
Well,
So
let's
you
do
will
that.
not
And
make me a
situation's
scalpel?
like, why is everybody so angry?
For those,
Why are feeling
Yeah, it's like everything feels really fucking bad.
Penn is just going to raise his hand, just kind of shyly, and for those of us who do not eat, I would like to ask if I could relight the forge.
All right, here's the issue with the whole forge thing. You light that bitch up, and everyone round here is gonna come over here asking for something from you.
I
Tug,
fail
you
to
are
see
in the
problem.
presence of a lady.
The problem, sir, Pendulum, is that the kind of issues they might come to you with
glosses over
will
it.
take several days, if not longer, to fix, and we do not have that.
This is true.
I think your best bet is to wait until a blacksmith dies on the other side and gets placed here. But that might take an eternity, so.
I would like some stew. What about the rest of you?
I said I would very much like some stew, so please.
Get you some
I
stew
would like
then,
for her to
fine.
have some
let's
stew.
go get your stew.
Great. And excuse me, my lady. And he gives a
That's
very
more like it.
exaggerated, like, beard touching the ground bow, and then looks up at you and just glares. He's got, he's got the scarred face, his gnarled hands, bald head, big gray beard, and looks. Is that better?
It's absolutely what I'm used to, thank you. And as she walks towards the old shark.
Yeah, and you
bucket.
walk past him, and when you do, he like looks at you and he kind of spits at the ground behind you. Fine.
Oh, I like him.
Let's go.
I'll walk alongside him. Although your performance there was a bit exaggerated, she does appreciate the deference.
I just need to know why you're here and get you out as soon as possible. You are trouble. This town is full of people that are still sleeping. And they get to be that way and enjoy their afterlife. The calm
Really?
of it. I don't need anything shaking it up in here. We don't need that. Come. And he takes you to the Ye Old Shark Pub, which is an even worse place for someone like B Perennial II. It is, wow. If it could be greasier than a place called Greasy, it would be. It absolutely would be. It's full of, like, old, gnarled fishermen, right? Like, people who have spent, more than likely, their actual waking lives out on fishing boats for decades. And then they perished, and this is where they were sent. This is where they went. And most everyone in here has that glazed over look, but they seem to be enjoying themselves, talking amongst each other, telling, fish tales, where the fish always gets larger in the next telling of which one you caught. But yeah, be in here. You probably don't want to touch anything. Mussel
I'll
stew's on the
stand.
fire. There's a table over in the corner. I'll bring you by some bowls in a moment.
Much obliged. Thaddeus will clean one of the seats for B with prestidigitation, the magic eraser, as you all called it.
Yeah, just kind of get that off there. Yeah.
Thank you kindly, Thaddeus. Let's have a little conversation about this weird copper taste we all been feeling.
Yes, Lady Balra, I can't shake this feeling that something is coming for us.
Bulra is, after having recently had her vision of Arin, going to be like, yeah, I definitely have had that feeling too. And is thinking of him instead of this idea of this void thing we've forgotten.
Sure. Yeah. I think everyone in the group has that same, like, kind of shit is wrong.
I wonder, you guys, Pin, you would be the one who would feel this the most, but do you think the dragon's okay? Is that what we could be feeling? Is...
This... I could try to reach out. And I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to try and see if I can
Sure.
sense her in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. You take a moment to kind of focus yourself, and you reach out with your mind to try and find the messenger. I want this to be a check of some kind.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think about what it might be. And maybe Arcana? Something you're generally good in, but also, like, may have, you know, consequences depending on the number.
Ooh. Well, you know what?
Yeah, you gonna do it?
Screw it. Let's use that natural 20.
God damn it. Okay. All right. Fine.
Atta guy.
Fine.
Not illegal.
Sure.
I don't want to die.
You're gonna utilize your natural 20, and I'm gonna pull that card that was bought for you.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Okay. You reach out with your mind, and you feel that bundle of emotions in the back of your mechanical brain, and you can feel her there. You can feel her there, and you can feel the pain that she's in, and you can feel the direction that she's in, just to your west, pretty directly from here, right? Reaffirming that it's likely the tower from the vision you saw previously. Do you push deeper into that?
Yes.
Roll me an intelligence saving throw.
Ooh.
Okay.
An opportunity has opened for you here. You've drawn the throne card.
Oh man.
I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10. Okay. You become overwhelmed by the amount of pain that you feel through that bond with the messenger. You take 17 psychic damage as it begins to tear your mind apart as you start to share in the pain that she has. The moment passes, Pen, and unfortunately, so does that opportunity. The door to the throne closes.
No.
So, Pen, what does this look like as you are sitting around the table and you reach out there and you feel that amount of pain and you push for more and it fails? You don't get what you wanted out of it. What does that look like for everyone at the table?
As I was reaching out, Pin begins to actually, not just, psychically, but Pin also begins like reaching out physically, almost as if like, he felt something was really close to him. And he's actually, since he can't grasp it anymore, with his mind, he's trying to grasp out for it physically, almost as if it's like right there. And as then when coming to the realization that it's not there, it's gone, that it's the moment has passed, and of course the onslaught of psychic pain that he just felt, Pin is actually going to begin panicking. And he's just like, it was right there. I had it. I could have grasped it, but now it's gone. It's not here. It's not.
Did you
and
drop
then
your bowl pen?
He's going to drop to both of his knees, and he's gonna kind of just go into a rest mode.
Does that mean the dragon died? I don't understand. Do you guys understand what happened?
I'm sorry, did we know that he was reaching out?
Yeah. Sorry. While you were
I
gone.
I would have told Ball. Ball was right
Gotcha,
there.
okay.
So.
Yeah. Like I knew he was trying to. He said he might try to contact her, but then he just started mumbling, and then now he panicked and fell to his knees. You think he's okay? I can't tell. What color was his eyes? Were they? What happened?
They're still his
They were-
normal color.
They're blue. Are they? Are you? Hey, what's he
He's-
look like?
Right now, his eyes are actually darkened. He's just like he's literally just kind of like
It's the Windows unhappy face with the blue screen on them.
yeah, basically.
Did he die? Did
I'll
Penn
knock on his
die?
head. I'll knock on his head.
dunk, dunk, dunk.
Hello?
Nobody's home.
Nobody's home.
Balra instinctively is gonna reach out and try to use cure wounds on him, just because if he's dead, I don't know what is happening, and she's gonna
Wait.
put her hands on him.
Yeah, does that work the same way on non-humans too?
Let's see. That's a good question.
Let's see.
I don't know if it's gonna wake him up, but she would
Yeah, I've
try.
never. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So
Try to feel around, see if there's a restart button.
There might be.
What was
There
that
might
one
not
anime? Chobits.
Chobit, yeah. Where's his Chobit?
Whoa, that's a throwback. I haven't thought about that since like freshman year of high school.
I know what you're
my
talking about,
God.
I know.
Laura, can you
Whoa.
find a Chobit on him?
I don't want to go there.
Wow.
Oh, you're welcome.
Some deep cut anime lore. Fucking love that. All right.
Oh God, Chobits!
Amazing.
Wow. All right, I'm into it.
So you want to try and magically heal him.
Yeah, I haven't seen many Warforged, and I've never seen Pin go down in a fight yet. So I feel like Balra is just kind of like, is he okay? And instinctively is going to try to heal him to be awake again or whatever.
Yeah, okay. By extension, you start to feel an immense amount of pain as your magic washes across, and you have also drawn the balance card. Your HP is halved, your spell slots are halved, everything is halved.
That's very nice of you, Chet. Thank you. Thank you for supporting.
The hits just keep coming.
And they
So
don't
total
stop.
H pool is half, right?
It's current, not max.
Current HP pool.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't
Current
affect
H-
the
okay.
max, just the current. We don't affect all of your spell slot like max. All of the spells that you have available, though, those are all halved. Yeah. You feel this immense amount of pain, and it affects you pretty greatly, it seems. The 5 healing from Cure Wounds does work. So the way that we treat magical healing on even constructs in this game is because Pen is technically a machine and magical, is that it can help him. The magic knows what to do to repair him. But like real true physical repairs to a Warforged definitely takes some tinkering. Pen, it helps you, but if it doesn't wake you up, that's up to you.
It does wake me up. Penn actually, he fully wakes up. Like he's still on his knees, just kind of like he's kind of like sitting there, like with his hands out, like almost like he's like just staring at his hands, like he's lost something.
And you said it was psychic damage that hit Pin before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
psychic
Balra
damage.
immediately pulls back and like grabs her head and like shrieks and sits down and is just like screaming.
Oh Lord Almighty! I'll get some tea.
What happened to you, Pin? What?
Hug, Balra.
Like Penn's gonna kind of look over, his eyes red, and something psychically disrupted me.
Did you get your answer?
In a manner of speaking, the messenger is in tremendous amounts of pain and suffering. And I have a sneaking suspicion that I felt what she felt. And then I lost the connection.
There is one question I have been wondering about this side quest of ours, if you would call it such. Have we put any thought into how we're going to help her?
I personally have not. I wonder what my lesser half has. But as far as I'm concerned, she's dying. The best we could probably hope for is to glean any information we could possibly get from this messenger. Maybe, possibly, at best, ease her suffering. But that is just my opinion.
Then I'm glad we do not share opinions. Use your
think the-
pragmatism there, sir. If we can save her, we may have gained a potential ally of great power.
Bee has forced herself into the back room where the stew is.
Okay. Yeah, the kitchen.
sorry.
Where he's like pouring the bowls. Okay, and he sees you coming there.
Tug,
What are you doing in my kitchen?
I demand chamomile.
Camels?
No, not camels. Chamomile. Tea.
A chamomile. You want me to camouflage your stew?
Barbara's hysterical. She lost her tiny knife, and now she's hyperventilating something awful. So I need
Give her
something
this
to calm
knife
her
then.
down.
And he like throws a dagger out at the wall and like he sticks right next to your head.
Tug, I have never in my life been treated such by a man of industry.
Of
Of
what?
industry.
Industry.
Of industry.
Well, I am quite
businessman.
industrious. Yes. Fine. Stew's ready. I don't have a camo meal, but I can make a spot of tea.
All right, I'll take a spot of tea then.
And take the tiny knife too. Maybe that'll ease your friend's blubbering. I could hear her shrieking from back here.
It's awful, isn't it?
What are you doing to her out there?
I ain't doing nothing. I don't know.
Or she
what's
just
going on.
always
I'm trying to
crying?
help. Seems like recently, yeah. Hey, well, I don't know what to do around crying women.
You think I know what to do around crying women?
Well, you said you take care of folks around here, so I was wondering if you had any particular advice, since you don't have any chamomile.
Back when I was alive, I did have a wife. And
Is that
when she was upset, I would bring her something. Little gifts, some food.
look at the tiny knife?
Yeah, some food. It didn't always work, but sometimes, brighten a day a little bit. I will say, however, I never got her to actually stop crying, so I'm sorry about that.
All right, this has been wholly unhelpful. Thank you very much. And Bee's gonna take that knife out of the wall, turn around, and go.
Wait,
back.
hang on, come here. And he'll just shove 2 bowls of the mussel stew into your hands. You got hands, take this, and it'll splash out on you a little bit.
So I don't.
Wrenching the gears.
Come on, turn around now.
Does she rage?
It just keeps getting worse and worse.
And he's got a platter with the other ones on it, and he kind of puts a hand on your back and pushes you out the door.
Okay. I'm gonna telekinetically knock over his little cauldron of stew.
In the kitchen? Okay.
Yeah.
We want to eat that.
There's bowls. We've got the bowls.
Okay.
Okay, so you blast the cauldron full of stew?
Yeah. You push me. How dare you?
Do you say that out loud? Is that okay? And he has stopped paying attention to you. The cauldron is tipped over and stew is spilling out everywhere. He shoves the tray with the other bowls into your hands. And goes, "Oh, my stew!" And he goes to like right the kettle up and grabs like some hot pads and starts wrangling it there. Has not even paid attention. You now have like
I'm speechless.
six bowls of stew.
He's unflappable. I think, gonna turn around and walk back to the table because
He won.
he won.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just, B is dazed. She's like a little turned on. And she walks back with the stew just all down her front and in the
tug.
bowls. And
you see Drissay comforting Balra at the table there.
Like awkwardly patting her hair.
Pen's eyes are red again.
I'm actually going to approach Balra.
Uh-oh.
Balra's like, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. Ooh.
Oh, should I?
I'm simply going to just walk up to her. I'm going to drop to one knee, and without actually without touching, he's simply just going to say, "Thank you for what you did."
You're welcome. She's gonna like air pat over his head, not touch him.
And she's he'll stand up and he'll just kind of awkwardly walk away.
Where's he going?
Stand in the corner.
Okay.
He goes to stand in the corner? All right.
He's not gonna face the corner. He's gonna be facing back towards them.
Oh, okay.
You don't want a Blair Witch in the corner?
As he walks away,
No.
Drissay's still like trying to comfort Balra. Balra's gonna be like, I don't know what that guy's been through, but I tried to try to heal him, and it's like my brain split in half.
That's what Drissay's just trying to like give you a scalp massage, something to try to help alleviate.
Thank you. That's so warm and lovely. But
Oh, yeah. I
Don't
figured
touch
since
him.
it's rainy and cold, you might appreciate some warmth. So
I like
Miss
to have a
Perennial,
nice
you're
hat.
looking
Thank
rather.
you very much.
Sorry. Miss Perennial, you're looking rather uncharacteristic.
Yeah, she's just standing. She's just been standing there with all of this stuff watching you.
there was nothing I could do. Everything I did, he just didn't care. He had something to say back. He talked back to me, Thaddeus.
she's
He
still locked.
appears to hold the authority in these parts. We will be encountering that as your realm grows.
My realm growing means I hold authority where else I go.
And there will be ways that you exercise that, but people won't be just willing to hand it over to you.
The hell am I supposed to do when someone who ain't willing to just hand it over to me says crazy stuff to my face? I feel all hot and bothered, Thaddeus. I don't like it.
Oh, hey. You ain't a statue.
Oh.
Put down the bowls. I brought the tea.
I do.
And he brings out like a bunch of these wooden cups. Most of them are kind of chipped and whatever. And he pours out tea as well. He's like, stew should be pretty good. And he looks at B and he goes, oh, you got some on your shirt there. You can get changed up in the back, cleaned up, a couple of rags. And then he just puts spoons in all the bowls. He's like, what's with the one in the corner?
That's the one that
Don't
needs
touch
the
him.
tea.
Right. Hey, metal man, tea's on the table.
I don't drink.
You're going to want some of this.
Not my
It
problem.
is Good
You,
manners.
crying one. You all right?
Yes. Thank you. Okay. And she's gonna like reach, just grab for the tea.
Right, here.
I'll hold it.
Have
for
some
her.
stew, warm your bellies. He like turns and looks at B and he's like, you're still standing here. Either eat or clean yourself up.
Thaddeus, he's telling me what to do again.
What do you want to do?
I don't know.
then perhaps relaxing and letting yourself reset is the best course of action.
Do I put the rags on?
Do you want to?
No.
Then don't.
You're all
Is that
weird lot.
okay?
Sit, eat.
Ooh, he said sit.
I do.
Good. And he a chair over, as loud and as obnoxiously as possible. And he plops
he's
down
sitting
into
with
it.
us?
He plops down into it, and he takes a bite of the stew. It's pretty good. Right. Now, and he gestures around with this spoon that, still has stew on it. It kind of splatters onto the table a little bit. What are you doing in my town?
We're here to save a dragon.
A what?
That's the correct response, sir.
All right, I can assure you that Aviron has no dragons in it. I probably would have noticed that.
But your lighthouse does.
Ah. Our lighthouse. All right. And he takes another big spoonful of the stew. And he looks at Bean. Eat.
Oh, all right. What the hell?
Right. So, I've been here a long, long time. Honestly, time is really weird here. It's never really nighttime. I have no idea how many years or eons have passed with me being here at Aviron. But the Tower of Lawnfall. It's just on the island just offshore. Used to be a lighthouse. And a storm destroyed the top of it. A lot of debris, rocky outcroppings, and a lot of shipwrecks. Used to be transport between here and the other districts. Well, that's all stopped now. A bunch of these rocks have jutted up out into the bay, so we don't see much trade from them anymore from that way. But there's still the road down to the south of us. Anyway, it was deemed too much of a bother to fix. So, it's just kind of there. And I guess it houses your, dragon.
Yes, and we need to get there.
Need to get there.
Is there any way that you can help us get there? And I'll try some of the soup.
It's
And it's gonna be
actually, it's really good. It's like a touch salty, but honestly, not bad. Warms you up after being out in the rain.
I'll tell him this is good stew.
It's good soup.
Oh, come on.
I don't like it.
He looks at you. What's wrong with it?
Everything. Look at it. It's old. It's smelly. It was poorly bred. It's poorly bred soup.
Have you even tried a bite? Balder's eating most of hers during this conversation. Just desperate.
I am not human, but I am of the impression you're not supposed to breathe while you eat.
Excuse me, Pen?
What?
I did not stutter or stammer.
Ooh.
Corner robot's right. You probably shouldn't breathe while you're eating stew. You'll choke.
Unless you're into that. Say says under her breath.
He looks down at your bowl. Have you tried any of it, B?
I had one sip. Yeah.
Yeah, one little, okay.
But I didn't like it or anything.
Fine. You need to get to the island.
It seems like you are the man to ask for that help.
You're not gonna come with us, are you?
Can give you
I wouldn't want that.
Could give you a rowboat if you want. Could take the 6 of you out there. Be the
Rowboat.
easiest way. Get you out of my hair.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we tried something stupid before.
Before. What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm getting this strange sense of that's why we were yelling at each other in the beginning. It's that feeling. Something feels like it was there.
Right. Does that have to do with your
This matter,
dragon?
though.
Is it
I believe so.
like deja vu?
My name's Just Say, by the way. I don't think I introduced myself.
Right, Tug. Kind of the, volunteer protector of Aviron. The fishermen are my kind of people when I was living, and, well, in death, I'll I'll keep taking care of them.
Why are you awake and they aren't?
Well, I kind of choose to leave them that way. The bliss of the afterlife can be soothing. I give
Of
them,
course.
They get a choice eventually to return to the land of the living in rebirth.
And you said your wife was still alive?
Oh, I don't know where she is now.
Oh, too bad that.
Right.
Is B blushing? Can I
Dressay
roll
is
insight on
staring.
if B is blushing?
Yeah, Dressay is looking at Thaddeus to see his reaction as she eats some soup.
His
How's
reaction
Thaddeus?
would be mostly a curiosity, because he doesn't get to see her like this often.
Oh my god.
All right, insight check, everyone. Let's
Yes.
do it.
Wait, are they just
wait.
throupling?
B, are you or Ball? Or sorry, B, are you okay with me rolling an insight check on you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. B, you can just take their numbers and you can be like, yes, this is good enough. Or if you want to roll die for, like, if you're trying to deceive or something like that, you can.
No,
It's
if they
entirely
beat a
up to you.
10, they could know.
Okay. Well, what do they get the feeling of with a 17, a 14, and a 15?
That B's got a crush, dude. Like, yes, she's got a little blush going across her face. And she can't quite figure out what to do with her hands. And she keeps trying to fight him, but he keeps winning. And it's a challenge. He's challenging to her is the vibe that you get. And she doesn't know what to do with that.
His spoon clatters into the bowl and he kind of pushes back and pats his belly. It's pretty good. Bit of a shame that we lost about half the pot back there. Some kind of freak accident broke the hook it was sitting on. I'll have to fix it
I'm
later.
not a freak. I don't.
I'm sorry, what?
Excuse me. I should get these chunks of muscles off my décolletage. And I think B sits back from the table and excuses herself.
Towels are in the kitchen. And he'll
B
sit
knows
forward
what to
again.
say.
Just mutter like, what's going on there?
So,
Oh, I'm talking to Balra.
Robo, good enough? He looks at Thaddeus since everyone else is talking, like kind of whispering to themselves and looking at B.
Mr. Pendulum, do you think you could assist us in rowing us across there to the dragon? You are, of
If
course,
it will
quite
get
strong.
us there. If it will get us there.
Do you have any boat knowledge? You ever sailed before? Rowed a boat?
In a manner of speaking.
Operated on the waters?
Yes. But I'm more
One-
skilled in the ways of war and killing flesh things.
Well, that's terrifying. Right.
He's in a mood. Don't mind him.
Yeah, his eyes are doing a thing.
Yeah, you just don't look at them.
Right. Well, rowboat's all you need then?
And your
long
guidance
would-
would be very appreciated.
Oh. Well, I can assure you, I no longer row. So,
Not asking you to. But a companion along the way that knows these waters would be something we would be grateful for.
question. And he looks at the Knight of Death, who is standing next to Balrun, has been here the entire time in like full armor and great sword, and is like sipping casually on some tea. Is that big old lunk coming with us?
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Balra's like emphatically yes.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. Fine, no rowboat. We'll take mine. Fuck.
I'll lean over and I got a bag of gems, right? Oh no, wait, no. Wait, hold on. Okay. I'll say, well, for your troubles, and pulled out a chicken that I roasted.
That's just one of the dead birds. Where have you been
Oh, from a
holding
dead
this?
bird, dude?
No, I roasted them. Remember, I cooked them.
Okay.
It was on the
They're
way,
still
so it would still be
dead.
kind of fresh.
Well, they're
you
dead
know?
and cooked. Yeah, they're kind of fresh. Yeah, it was like earlier in the day, so I'll give him
And
one.
you pull one
I
like
remember
out of your
Ray
bag.
Say didn't like to pull the feathers.
Yeah.
So this one definitely does it. It still has
It
feathers.
still has all the
right?
feathers, but it's been roasted. Oh. Yeah, put it on the platter. I'll take it to the kitchen.
Puts it on the platter.
He gets up and he goes, fine, take your rest if you need one. We'll set out this afternoon. Wait, you don't know how to tell time here, do you?
You can tell
No.
time?
Yeah, you get used to it.
Teach us, please.
What time is it?
So, don't know what plane you're from, but back in, where I come from, the way that it's been, the rains here, you'll get to recognize that they're pretty regular. Like they're watering the plants. So, every time the rains come up, it's been about 2 days or so. You can kind of keep track with that over and over again. And you get a sense for it.
Sorry, dumb question. It is raining now, right?
Yeah.
Because it was drizzling a little bit. Okay, cool.
It's been raining for for us for like most of the day.
Okay.
It's been raining. And so he's telling you that like at once every 2 days it tends to rain for a period of time. So he keeps track of like hours by counting through those days. Yeah.
Would I be able to deduct how long we've been here based on how much rain we've seen now?
Sure. That's a straight intelligence check.
Yeah.
But also, Pen, would Red Eyes Pen think of the watch?
Probably. If
Okay.
he probably wouldn't think of it like instinct. Like he probably wouldn't think of it like right away, but he would gaze at it maybe every once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon? Well, that's a long time. So, remembering that the watch has 5 hands of various different lengths, they still function as well. I'm not sure you figured out what each of those do, but I think when they talk about time in here, you might think of them. Balra, an intelligence check, please.
So Balra has probably like maybe in her like book logged the rain. Just that's the only way, not like a backtrack remembering, but she'll take it out and kind of jot. Straight intelligence. Where are you at? Dink. A 6.
That is
No.
that's you
Well,
are
there was
not
that time we were
sure.
a duck, and then there was the time.
duck.
I don't know the fire. Couldn't tell if it was raining and we.
I think what's got you like messed up is the shifts.
hard to
right?
think
You
when
don't
you
know
have a-
how much time has really passed because there's been a couple of these like weird fate shifts. But yeah, okay. You're not really sure. Yeah, spend a couple 100 years down here and you'll figure it out. Anyways, I'm gonna take the bird to the back. You guys figure out what you need to do. And he'll go bustling off into the kitchen where, B, what have you been doing?
How? Turn away!
He raises an eyebrow and looks at you. What state are you in, B?
I'm gonna undress.
Okay.
I got soup all down my boobies. So
Was that on there before? Or did you put that on when she went to the kitchen?
I didn't put that on when I went to the kitchen.
Yeah.
I've been like weirdly covered in soup. I've weirdly
Like,
had soup boobies this whole
Dripping
time.
it down, slow motion.
It's not weird.
It's not weird. He looks at you and says,
No.
get a towel. And he grabs one from the kitchen, like from the counter, and tosses at you. It's like this
And I-
old, greasy towel.
And I hold it over my shame.
He looks at you and says, you're not cleaned up yet. And he like puts the bird onto the table.
Well, are you offering to help?
Oh my god.
You're a grown-ass woman. You need some help cleaning up.
And you're a grown ass man.
And?
I don't know how to do this.
What is this? Clean yourself up. You have that man out there
I
clean
know
you
how
up.
to clean myself up, sir. I just don't know how to express the way that I feel right now. In your kitchen, with my décolletage exposed.
He pulls up a stool and sits down.
This is odd.
What are you feeling?
My God, he's my therapist.
He takes care
You
of the
see,
town.
I don't think I ever properly introduced myself. My name is B. Perennial II, heir to the Perennial Kingdom.
Never heard of it.
See, that's interesting to me, because had you heard of it, you would never treat me this way.
You'd be surprised.
I am surprised, and that's a part of how I've been feeling.
Here's the thing, Miss Perennial II. Down here, all those titles don't mean shit. Because we are all shit to the gods that rule the plains.
Did you just call me shit?
Maybe.
Well, I have never, and I think I'll run from the room.
And he'll hop off the stool. That went well. And go back outside to the... Where do you go, B? Do you, like, run out with this towel over you back into the...
Please tell me we see her.
You run out? Okay.
There's nowhere else to go. I have just had the most indecent conversation with a man.
You are just about to have another, Miss Perennial. Perhaps you should cover up.
Thaddeus!
Balra's gonna reach up and try to cover the Death Knight's eyes.
And you're like 4'5"? Like what?
She's jumping.
He's like 9 feet tall.
She stands
Please
on her
tell me he
chair.
bends down to let her
Yeah,
do
yeah.
this.
He's,
tell me
he's
he does
sipping
that.
on his tea and he'll bend down and continue to sip the tea where like her tiny little hand barely covers parts of his face.
I'll rummage through my bag because we took some clothes from.
Yeah, you have
someone's
some
place,
of
and
Bee's
I'll-
clothes.
I'll
Oh,
throw it
yeah.
at her. Actually, you know what? I'll walk up to her.
Okay.
And I'll give it to her and I'll say, "Here, change." And I'll hold up the towel so that she can change behind it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Dressay. You're the only one here with a whole heart.
I remember being naked too, and you tried to clothe me, so I'm just returning the favor.
All right. There's like a bunch of old dudes in this bar,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
But they're all-
like clouded, right?
Yeah, they're all vibing.
So
No
like
one's
here's the
looking-
thing, like when you bust into the room, right? Like all the eyes go there, and there's like this tiny moment that like they recognize them, and then it just fades away. For us,
Oh, titties. Oh.
yeah, for us, it's like when you guys were making wisdom saving throws, right? For them, they're really stuck in this, and so they see these like weird things happening, but it never really registers.
Okay, so I think B would be fine. As far as she's concerned, these are pawns. They're not people.
As far as you can tell, yeah, you just no one like
They're not
comes
gonna
up to you,
be-
no one says anything, no one like makes any moves here while you're out here.
Does B look like physically she's looking at them, like she's worried about them looking at her, or are you showing signs of this
No,
outwardly?
I'm just
okay.
wondering. I'm setting the scene.
Sure.
These old fishermen just like eating their soup while B takes off her top in the middle of the room. Yeah, I'll change. I will change into the frilly pink.
The frilly pink. Okay,
Frilly,
good.
the
Good.
frilly
Good.
pink
Yeah.
top, I guess.
Once it's on, and eventually coming out with another round of tea is Tug, and he looks at you and goes, "Oh, you do know how to clean up," and he'll place the like tea down at the table.
I don't.
So did you make your decision? We're taking my boat. When are we going?
Does anyone need time to rest before we go, or is time of the essence here?
I'm
Well, you
still
said-
at half hit points, so yes, please.
You said they have to go this afternoon, and time-wise, she's still covering the.
Right.
Like,
We need to
time-wise,
go
how
with
long is
the
that?
tide. Time-wise, how long is that? This afternoon? 3 hours?
Can we argue 4 p.m.?
Can we argue for 4? Why do you need 4, Balra?
Because it's a short rest.
A short rest is 1 hour.
Oh, 1
Yeah,
hour.
1
okay,
hour.
Got it.
Wait, so then does
Valid.
that mean we get
3 short rests.
Well, you can
PM?
you accomplish everything on your first short rest. There's not really anything to do with the other.
Oh, really?
2
Okay. Wait.
hours.
So what does that mean for my hit points?
So, on a short rest, you can utilize your hit die. It is a value on your sheet below your hit points, which also were halved in the balance. Whatever the current value was,
Wait,
was
they were?
halved. Yes. Everything on your sheet was halved.
Yeah, it sucks.
Fuck!
A lot.
So you can spend those, if you would like to recover some of your actual current HP. It's part of the rest. You can use any
No.
of your abilities that you might have to recover spell slots, if you do have an ability for it. I think Balra probably does.
I can like harness my divinity, correct?
Yep, Harness Divine
Okay,
Power.
cool.
You can
Sorry.
recover, I believe it's like half your level worth of spell slots. You'll have to double check
Okay.
on the wording.
Got it.
Yeah.
Is that spell slots total or spell slots per level? I don't know.
What does the words say?
I'm sorry.
You can either post it for me or I'll go find it.
Beep.
Okay. You spend Channel Divinity to fuel your spells as a bonus action. You touch your holy symbol, utter a prayer, and regain 1 expended spell slot, the level of which can be no higher than half your proficiency bonus, rounded up. So 1. You get 1 level 1 spell slot back.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
I'm still gonna try my hit dice though.
Yes.
Daddy is
So
still
we are
say
taking a
something.
short rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is what's up.
Do I get anything back in a short rest or no?
Well, are you going to spend your hit die?
No.
Okay. Then you're not going to get your HP back.
No spell slots either, right? That's only full rest.
It depends on when you get sorcery points back. Meta magic options, dark vision, sorcery points. You have 4 sorcery points gained more as you reach higher levels. You can never have more of this one. Regain all spent when you finish a long rest. Okay.
That's long.
So
Chat, while I work this out, imagine that since we're down on HP and down on spell points, you can always help us out by throwing a D20 away. It's only $10.
that's wow, that's right. Or another card.
Just
That's
saying.
okay.
Or another card.
Margal.
So Dressay, how your
We're okay with cards.
sorcery
We have so
points
many.
work is that you can spend your sorcery points to cast spells. Like that's part of your
Okay.
abilities. You
Do I
have those meta magic
see-
things, and then you
Oh, I
can,
see it. I see it. Okay. Yeah.
and then you can also like if you spend 2 sorcery points, you can cast a level 1 spell. Like that's a thing you can do rather than using a meta magic thing. You can spend those sorcery points to get those
Oh.
spell slots.
Got it. Okay.
It doesn't help you on a short rest. That's just an option you have. I know we haven't really gotten into you utilizing those sorcery points.
Yeah,
But yeah, you're
it's
not going to spend any hit dice on this.
It's just gonna leave me with 1.
Well, you can roll
We
as many
haven't
as you
really
want. You
been-
can roll all of them.
Yeah, but you only get them back in long rest.
Mhm.
That's the problem.
Okay.
Because we have not been taking many long rests.
No, not recently.
No. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Okay. With us kind of wrapping this little short rest up, let's take a break. Some water, coffee, and a snack. And when we come back, we'll get on a boat and maybe
Hey.
actually rescue this dragon. Maybe. We'll be
Maybe
right
a
back.
romantic boat ride for one.
Romantic boat ride. Oh, I can't wait.
That's right. He's here this time. So.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to DieFall Presents Ruin Auric. We are still a little bit in the old pub here. We spend a couple of hours resting, eating, and our new friend Tug is going to go out to his boat and prepare it for departure. Is there anything that you would like to do? Yes, Thaddeus, in the intervening hours.
I would have asked him. Okay. He would have shown him his spell book and asked Tug if he had ever seen anyone around or anything around that he would be able to supplement it with.
Yeah, you go out and talk to Tug while he's working on the boat or something and see if there's anything worth. If he's seen anyone worthwhile in this place spell-wise. Sure. Gosh. He looks at your book and looks up at you and then looks at the town around him. And he says, right, yeah, this ain't the place. But here's the deal. I don't know if you know this or not. You know about our governors, right? The 3 districts that you're occupying and all that?
To a degree, yes.
Right. So I spent a couple 100 years here. We would call this probably back home the plane of magic. The god of magic lives here. Well, turns out they're triplets, and they live here. So if you were going to find anyone that knows anything about magic, you could try talking to them. Though, I've heard that our Gadarian is not very keen on friends.
That is a good advice. I have heard the same.
Though, I have heard, though, in the, there's a central district. It's kind of administrative, called the Quarter. There's a library there. Supposedly holds every spell ever written.
Ah, see, something like that could be quite useful.
Right. Not sure they let you take anything from it, but could be interesting.
I was hoping to find at least just a hedge wizard of some kind around, but that advice will be useful.
Well, if that's all you're looking for, then there's a couple of scattered about the forests east of here. Cross the river. People sometimes come over to this side, wake up, decide that they're not leaving, and they stick around. Now, I'm not sure how much success you're gonna have finding them in the woods out there, but there may be a small coven there. They may work for Gadarian, but, you know.
Many do, but don't defer.
Yeah. Hey, you might have better luck going to the Quarter than anything out here. You're really looking for something. The Lillian Dominion. The sister of the 2 bastards here, she really gets into the whole magic thing. But she also rules the Quarter, so, you know, as it were.
That is valuable information, and I appreciate that you offered it.
Yeah. And he's like, continues to like fix the rigging and stuff like that, and is checking the tiller and all of these things. Putting things away on the boat, making space and room. Yeah, you assist him? Yeah, he gives you a nod and just kind of gives you some directions and whatever. Expects you to know how to do things, and then just, you know, you go to it. What does Penn do for the, like, 2 hours before we board this little boat here?
You know what? Penn is actually going to, he's gonna re-kit, his arcane armor.
Okay.
To guardian mode.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all he's gonna do.
What does that look like?
It's a very bulky version.
Oh, I mean, like,
so,
when you're re-kitting, are you just kind of
oh yeah, I'm just
standing?
moving plates around. Moving plates around and basically, I guess, kind of like melding and shaping things. Because it's basically arcane armor. So, like, I guess in some aspects it might come off as kind of spectral in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Okay.
So I'm
I
just
think
making it bulkier.
While you're doing that, B's like next to you, leaning against the wall, and is saying like, "I think I got him wrapped around my little finger."
How
I
does
put on
one wrap someone around their finger?
Oh, Pen, you know. You know. You know the way he looks at me, like he's mad, like he wants to throw me up against a wall,
Like he wants to choke you.
like he wants to exactly. You know how that look? That's exactly where I
Yes.
want him.
He
It took me
wants
a
him
minute to
choke
figure
you.
that out, but you know, maybe not in all those exact words, but I feel like I'm in control of this situation.
Yes. You most certainly are. The gentleman in question, the flesh thing, you have flesh feelings for him.
Could you define flesh feelings for me?
It's the emotions that flesh things feel.
I mean, by definition, sure.
That's like looking
You know,
in a
he brewed this
dictionary.
tea. It ain't chamomile, though. He didn't know what that was.
Well, he doesn't strike me as one who would be well versed in the tea brewing.
I bet I could teach him.
I'm sure that would just make his day. What you should do is maybe you should inform him of these flesh feelings that you have. It seems as though you are the only one who knows.
And that's what feelings are all about. You think I tell anybody how I feel? Pen.
You are
Pen,
telling
pen,
me.
pen.
Well, this conversation has, while been educational, I've learned something about one of you flesh things. I think that maybe you should share this with Mr. Tug.
Mr. Tug. I'm not gonna say what I want to say.
Uh-huh.
cut away.
Yeah. Yeah, B starts to say something, and that was a hard cut away.
Oh my god.
Balra, what have you been doing for the last 2 hours? As you, like, sympathy blush from something that you may have heard somewhere.
I feel like Balra is going to probably still feeling a little weak from everything. We'll ask Jose to help her because I don't know how long this like boat trip's gonna take. So Balra's gonna try to like ask Jose to help her like gather provisions or like if we can find anybody that has any small medicinal stuff because she doesn't feel like she's at her strongest for healing, stuff like that.
Just say will help.
Okay.
Sunscreen because I know I get sunburned on the water.
Sunscreen.
But it's
Sunscreen.
raining. I guess even when it's cloudy, you can still get sunburned, right?
Yeah, you
Trust me.
As a
Yes.
very pale man, yes, you can.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I think unfortunately like the most that you're going to be able to find here is not like healing potions, but
Yeah.
a healer's kit is absolutely something that would be available at one of the the stalls.
Okay.
If you wanted to purchase a healer's kit.
Yeah, I think she would purchase that and like some food and.
Yeah. Okay.
She's like, I asked her, say, like, what do dragons like? Do dragons like anything food-wise? Like, what do you think?
They definitely like meat, in my experience.
Okay, so try to get some like cuts of meat.
Interesting. Okay. There's a lot of fish.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fish. Not many other types of meat. But there is indeed a lot of fish. The healer's kit itself costs 5 gold pieces. In this area here, with like the ones that are still kind of in their days, they take gold. Like they'll take actual gold from you.
Yeah.
The meat, however, like you probably spend a gold and have like a sack of fish.
Okay.
Like fish is pretty cheap here.
Okay, so she will B gave her a couple of like the gems and stuff from that bag when she first got it. So she'll expend I guess the smallest amount that would equal gold on there.
Those gems?
Yeah, I don't have gold starting this. I just had gems.
You hand them a gem and they give you everything. Those are worth like an incredible amount, aren't they? Like I think we just say they were like 100 a piece.
All I know is like 200 gold pieces worth of gems. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 2 of those gems.
Great.
They don't really have change for that.
She doesn't. I don't really
We have
need
so much.
200 gold, so she's just gonna be like, can you also take care of the horses while we're gone? I don't know when we're gonna get back. Can you just make sure they're taken care of?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Oh.
You note for like just a moment, they look at that gem and like this flash of recognition of like that clarity comes across their face and then is immediately gone again.
Okay.
And he's, oh yes, dearie, I can take care of that for you. Yes, such fine horses. They look like they've got a lot of meat on their bones.
She's gonna like eyeball the clearly skeletal horse, like, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she'll like, I think we'll probably like, if Drusay will help, we'll like cook some of the fish and then like maybe store it if we
Drusay
can in some
definitely
sort
do
of like
that.
salted jar or so, I don't know, whatever. So
Sure, you spend a couple hours salting some fish.
I don't know how long we're gonna be gone.
Okay.
It'll go bad.
It'll go bad.
Cook fish. I can instantly cook fish. I'm doing that.
You're
Then let's
doing
just cook
that.
it. Let's cook it
Okay.
all.
We cooked some
I'm a
fish.
one-woman factory.
We cook some fish. Okay. And so Drusay and Balra assist each other there.
We got snacks, guys.
The Knight of Death will help you with the snacks as well. Okay. Is there anything else that you guys want to accomplish before heading towards the docks and getting on the boat with Tug and Thaddeus, who is currently over there?
Since we can't turn on the forge, no. Oh!
We
I still have
can,
that tiny knife,
but-
just so you know.
You still have Tiny Knife, yes.
I still have tiny knife.
Indeed. Okay. All right. So we head down to the docks, where Thaddeus and Tug have made the boat prepared and ready to cast off to head towards the island in the center of the bay. Pushing off here, everyone settling in. When Penn and the Knight of Death step onto the boat, it lists a little bit, but it is large enough to hold both of them, as heavy as they are. And we cast off out into the water. Tug, looking around. Right, it'll probably take us about an hour to get there. Can't just pull up on this side. Gotta go around to the other. Too many rocks. The waves will dash us against them, and we'll never make it. You know what you're doing there?
I'll figure it out.
Climbing to the top.
Climbing. Well, should be some stairs in the middle of it there. Hopefully. But, well, who knows? It's a bit of a wreck.
As a fan. It's a funny joke.
Does B look uncomfortable now that she's laughed out loud?
Yeah.
Auril will laugh in comfort with her.
And things are about to get significantly more uncomfortable for B.
Oh dear.
Thanks for the chaos, chat.
Thank you, Jesse.
Oh no.
It's probably fine. So, as we head out on the boat into the water, smoke and shadow surround us. And we find ourselves in our camera observing a fine estate. Large stone walls, big iron gate, and behind it, people dressed, fancy dress wear, all approaching this home. We find ourselves in a room. Very special room because it's B Perennial II's bedroom where she is being dressed and prepared for a very special day. B does look different though. In fact, B looks even younger than she did after taking the potion. Roughly 18 years old. B, what does your room look like as our shadow of a group sits and watches you being dressed in this honey-colored gown?
I think B's room still has the exuberance of like a young girl's room. So there's like cloud mural paintings on the walls. Her bed is just like every color pink and ruffles and lace, big plush, fancy girly stuff. There's stuffed animals, big ones like in the corners and things. She's got like guard lion stuffed animals at the ends of her bed. Everything is just rich and plush, but then glittery and girly and feminine to the nines. It's like a bubble bath of a bedroom.
A bubble bath of a bedroom. And what does B look like as she's being done up in this gown, her ladies in waiting assisting her here?
Well, B's never quite had a feminine figure. She's a very broad woman. She's got, even back when she was 18, she had very burly, strong, strapping arms and a broad shoulder. A narrow waist, narrow hips, a little bit of an A, upside down triangle shape, B, but never lacking confidence. This never bothered B.
Mm-hmm.
And she loves how she looks when she like puts the flounces on and the big skirts and is able to play with her shape and dress herself up like liquid gold.
And this gown is full of those ruffles and pleats and lace. Layers upon layers of these warm oranges and yellows, dripping in sweetness. One of the ladies in waiting, though, does stop as she is cinching up your waist here, and she looks at you quite seriously. And she says, Miss B, are you sure that this is the dress?
Oh, how dare you? I'm absolutely sure. Can you imagine when I walk out on that dance floor, people's eyes, they're just gonna sparkle looking at me?
Our group sees that the ladies in waiting kind of give each other this glance that maybe not all will be well with her selection. Of course, my lady. Of course. Oh, it seems that Thaddeus is here. She goes to the door. Thaddeus, you're sitting in the shadowy form watching this happen. For your reference, this is the day of B Perennial II's, was it debutante ball, I believe is what yeah. What, as you come to visit her, having taught her the steps of the dance that she must perform today, you visit and you see her all done up in this honeyed gown. What do you say to her?
Looking quite striking today, Miss Perennial.
Oh, Thaddeus, isn't it spectacular? You know, Mama told me that it might be too colorful for a woman's coming out party, but I can't help but be myself.
And that is the idea and the purpose of tonight's event, isn't it? To present yourself.
Absolutely. I can't come out in some kind of little wishy-washy yellow thing or baby pink thing. No. Look at it, and I think I do a spin.
There will be people who disagree with your selections. Do not let that matter at your mind one bit.
You think I
Present.
would be so weak-tempered to let that bother me?
You should keep it in mind, but not let it change your mind. Recognize those who are against your choices, but keep that counsel to yourself. And retain your confidence.
All right.
What does Thaddeus look like here? Shadow Thaddeus in the group is, we see him walk in the door. It's you over there, but you're still over here. But this is also when B was 18 years old.
So it would have been like, what, like 25 years ago or something like that? So many of the party members with a keen eye would notice that he doesn't look really a different age at all. He's wearing mostly the same outfit, but it looks newer and more well tended to instead of worn in and aged, unlike himself. So he's always had this like somewhat upscale Victorian look, but it's been utilitarian for his purposes.
Maybe some of you make that mental note as you watch this happen. Our vision swirls and fades, and we fall out of B's room. And instead, we find ourselves behind B in front of the two great wooden double doors, painted and lacquered in white and gold filigree, waiting to be presented. The two footmen at the sides of the door look to each other, then look at B, waiting for her nod. And when she does, they open the door, and in front of us is an enormous dancing hall. And there, everyone is arrayed, all of these fancily dressed people from all around the courts of the land. And B is presented. The man at the door yelling out, "Presenting B Perennial the Second." And she steps amongst the people. And there's a polite clap. But as she enters and the light hits her gown and the honeyed oranges and golds, there's a murmur that ripples across the room. And the claps and applause slowly fade. Some fully turn their backs to her as she moves among them. No one approaches her to congratulate her. Where does B go? What does she do?
I think I spot my friend Suzanne across the way. I should go say hi to her. And I think I approach a group of other young women who are coming out.
And they're all, dressed rather traditionally. Nothing ostentatious, nothing flowery, and, well, all in white. And their hair is all long, perfectly braided behind them. Everything very modest. And they see you approach. And as you maybe wave to them or say a name, they all look and then turn away and move quickly to the other side of the room.
Oh, they must have been famished. It's awful hot in here. Oh, it's Tanya. Oh, I should go say hi to Tanya. And I turn and I look to a different group of young women.
And they see you
approach
there,
them.
and you approach them. most of them move away, but Tanya remains, her long black hair braided behind her, and she says, "B, what are you wearing?"
What am I wearing? Oh, I had this privately commissioned. Isn't it spectacular? It's just about everything I like all rolled up into one.
B, you know we can't. I'm sorry. I can't be seen talking to you.
But Tanya, we
she
talk all the time.
Turns and leaves. The party continues, but most of it is without B. All of it, really. We find B maybe sitting to the side against a wall. Everyone ignoring her. B looks up and sees a curious figure, especially for some of us that may have not met them yet. This hawk-like birdfolk man, dressed rather smartly in a gray uniform, some military pins at his breast, and a decorated rapier at his side, approaches B. B looks up, and she sees him, and you recognize him, though he does not look like the boy that used to torment you so when you were a child. Remembering those times where he dumped birdseed into your food and hair, or played pranks on you by pulling out your chair from underneath you and giggling and cackling at your dismay. No, a different man stands before you, all the down feathers of his youth gone, replaced with this orange shine. A band of color across his eyes that you could swear is green? No, purple. And he approaches you. Pernus Epivorus, the only son of your rival family. He bows deeply and stands and says, "Lady B. Perennial II. It's been quite some time."
Did you come over here to say something to me, Pernus? Look at you. I hardly recognize you out there dancing.
I did learn to turn a feather or two, yes. And I would like the opportunity to dance with you as well. Would you?
Are you kidding me?
No.
All night, not one man has come over here to ask for my hand in a dance. My friends, people who I thought were my friends, are turning their nose up at me. And then at the end of the night, the last thing I need is you to come up and put my nose in it. Pernus, how could you do... Pernus... I will not feel shameful.
And B has their first moment of their telekinetic powers manifesting. Pernus is thrown across the room and lands in a pile and heap onto all of the refreshments and cakes and tiny finger sandwiches that would be here. And B runs from the room and runs directly out of that shadowy place where we found ourselves. Our vision swirls and fades once again, and we find ourselves back on Tug's boat.
Thaddeus will go up to B. We all experienced that, right?
Oh, yeah.
The hells are playing tricks on us again.
I guess so.
Do you remember the ones that turned their backs on you?
Every face.
Do you remember hearing those stories about how they started disappearing?
I reveled in them.
I never forgot who turned their back on you either. And he'll simply turn around and walk away.
I think B will look out towards the water.
As you do, B, you see something floating in the water next to you. A long orange feather in the water.
Is this? I pick it up.
Reach down and grab it, and pick it up, and as if you can see him in front of you. It's the same coloration and pattern as Pernus.
Even here he torments me.
You feel something from the feather itself, as if there's something more to it. You're not sure yet, but you think it might have some value.
Should I investigate it? Arcane check?
Yeah, you want to do an Arcana check?
Yeah.
Okay.
I turn it over in my hands. I have a -1 Arcana. That's not gonna.
You do.
Good. Well, you do your best, B.
Exactly.
How's a 2?
How's it 2? Not super sure what this does, and maybe it's your frustration, your sadness at your shame being on display for your companions here. But maybe your mind is not focused on this.
Or will go over to B. Miss B.
What do you want?
I just want to let you know that I think your dress was probably one of the prettiest dresses I've ever seen.
Just go ahead and tell everybody at the ball that.
I would.
Bara, I don't like people knowing my business.
I wouldn't tell anybody.
Appreciate that. I just got my heckles all raised knowing that y'all saw that. It's not one of my proudest moments, that.
It's okay. You're the bigger person now, like literally, and figuratively.
That's true. I bet they get our jimmies all rustled seeing me so big in the battlefield.
Yeah, they're probably all so weak. So weak. You know?
You see their arms? They got skinny arms even back then. To this day, they can't pick up rocks.
True.
I know
And
it's not
she'll,
very
like-
ladylike for me to pick up rocks, but
You know, everybody has their things, you know? I've got
Yeah.
my tears, you have your rocks.
I'm not a crier. No, not like you, Bara. I wouldn't do something like that. Bara, more like bawl your eyes out. Right?
She'll cringe. Yeah.
Sorry.
Ballroom, ball your eyes out.
Huh.
Barbara, I just want to let you know I like your dress. Like walk away and start crying and just walk.
Yeah.
She actually does it.
Tug looks at what's happening here as he's at the tiller. He's like, "What in the hell is going on? Why is everyone all bawly and weepy now?"
It's an allergy. She like kind of I'm allergic to water.
Well, tough luck. There's water all over you. Look around.
You didn't see nothing, Tug?
I see you getting sentimental about a feather.
I ain't sentimental about this feather. You know what this feather is? That's my arch nemesis's feather right here. It's the whole reason why I gotta get out of this place, is so I can go and take his whole family down.
Thaddeus will
pay
walk
him
back over
back.
to her.
Right. Well, you seem to got the arms for it. I'm sure they don't stand a chance.
She feels immediately better.
I lean over to B. Likes your arms.
He likes my arms.
Yeah,
He told me I
likes them.
cleaned up pretty well, too.
Yeah.
So, how you thinking of getting out this place?
G-
You're not gonna
Oh,
just
I
wait for
think-
rebirth?
No, no. I think we're
It-
gonna kill Gadarian.
That was
And he looks at you, and like you're like serious about it.
stone.
Yeah. Oh. Well, good luck to you, I think.
We will not bring trouble to your doorstep.
No, I will be very wait. This dragon you're trying to save,
Yes.
wouldn't happen to be related at all to Gadarian and his ilk?
She was. We freed her of that.
Was. You freed her how? Is Gadarian still alive?
Most likely. I could not explain how. I simply was able to do so. She was enslaved.
I'm just gonna put it out there that this may be a bad idea.
The thought had crossed my mind.
I am currently regretting my decision to help.
I do not blame you.
I probably should have asked some more clarifying questions before getting in the boat with you all.
But
Don't-
at least
don't
you get
worry,
to look at
Tug.
B's glorious arms, right? They'll
I'll
protect you.
protect you.
Right. You know, if it came down to an arm wrestle, I'd actually put some money on you against him. But he is incredibly powerful and has an army. So I'm not really sure how you expect to get around that.
I have a pendulum.
We might have a dragon. If
And
we
that-
get there fast enough.
Oh, you hold
And
your
we have
horses.
She motions to the Death Knight.
Yeah, what is that
We-
anyways? I've never seen one of these before.
He is he is my Knight of Death.
And he bows low. Hello, I am a Knight of Death, assigned to the Lady Balra by Death himself.
She's like full blush.
And he looks at him. Alright, I'm gonna ask this one. Who the fuck are you people?
I'm Balra. That's B.
The Immortals.
The
What's to say?
Immortals. The Immortals. The Immortals. For once, out of the entire time that you've been talking to Tug, he has nothing to say.
Thaddeus, you won.
It is what I'm best at.
Wait,
Ooh,
does
is
that
Beacon
break the
conflicted now?
chain of command? Wait, does that now make me attracted to Thaddeus instead of Tug? Because Thaddeus won over Tug? Is that how that works?
Bee's
love
flesh
this
feelings
soap
are
opera.
confused.
So many flesh feelings.
Sir Tug, I would like to reassure you that any challenges that have come our way have been thwarted through no fault of our own. We simply got here and we were sent to our own deaths, or second deaths as they call it, almost immediately. As you could imagine, we had problems with that.
Had it been our actual second deaths, maybe that would have been okay. But they actually sent us to a farm to try to steal our mana, our ether, away from us. To create these corn babies.
Yeah, that's his
Are these
army.
what- these-
She quotes.
Those fields north of your town,
You have to
Yeah.
had noticed that fire.
they're
Well,
growing monsters in those fields, not
great
food.
big amount of smoke there, yes.
Bean motions that say. Ballroom motions that say.
It seems that maybe in sticking to my little fishing town, I have missed some of the greater workings of this plane. But I have kept those people safe, at least for now.
I fear for you and your people. Your isolation may have helped you thus far. But the knowledge you seem to be lacking tells me that they are eventually going to be here too.
Right. Well, let's make this quick then, so I can be back there to help however I can. And he seems worried. The first time in all of this, he seems worried about whatever might happen to his little town while he's gone.
I have a suggestion.
Sure.
Perhaps Miss Balra can clarify, but I believe we have entered some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement with her patron. Death does not like what Gadarian is doing here to the dead.
He did. He told us that.
And you seem to be a caretaker of the dead yourself.
I've been trying, yes.
Our goals may be aligned. If you do encounter any caretakers of the dead or representatives of death,
I don't
there may
represent
be
anyone. This.
Have you had anybody come to try to request you to relinquish some of your villagers for any tasks?
Lord
or anything?
Gadarian sends his people by every once in a while. They check in on things, making sure the town is functioning, as it were. I make sure everything is shipshape, and they move along.
Do people vanish when they arrive?
He looks at you like just immediately. You may have noticed some empty stalls. Blacksmith
Perhaps a
shop.
blacksmith.
And he looks down and goes, I thought they had chosen their rebirth. Sometimes people go missing that way, They choose life back on the material plane, and
While he's
they
talking,
leave us.
Balra's gonna pull out that vial of aether and hand it that we collected, and hand it to Thaddeus. You should explain to him what this is.
Are you saying that he's broken the cycle and he's using
He intended to include us in that, yes.
He's gonna cross her arms and lean back and kick her shoes up on whatever she can.
Rat bastard.
Whatever this is some sort of distilled essence of those people that have gone missing.
He's ruining the order of things. The way that things should. Why would he do this? Why? Do you know?
Yeah. Basically, there's a potential war that's gonna happen between the heavens and the hell planes. Everybody's building an army.
Well, fuck. That's not good. That is really not good.
So you see why we are so urgent in our attempts to defy him.
It's a complete disruption of the cycle. I mean, Death is not happy.
No. Lord Death would to balance and order, and we should be able to choose. Fine. All right. B. Drop the sails. We need to be moving faster.
Don't you tell me what to do.
Sails, woman!
She gets up, puts the feather in her pocket absentmindedly, and drops this. She's never done this before. She's been the captain.
You
But-
have.
How does a bitch drop a sail?
So you can unfurl the sails by, you know, lowering some ropes and changing the rigging and things like that.
She's not gonna know that.
B,
you had
you
knowledge, though,
do
of-
know.
Like, yeah, I remember because when we were when we were gonna steal the boat, you were like, "Oh, I have enough knowledge. I can totally steer this."
Remember when you were on that ship that one time?
Yeah, I was the captain.
You had to
Yes,
work your
so
way
you-
up to there somehow.
By stealing the role from the captain.
I think you forget the portion of you knew how to do the things on the ship.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Did it? I do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
real
with a
good.
practiced hand, and he looks and he's. You didn't say you all had experience sailing?
I was like, she does. She does.
She does.
I'm like Captain Morgan posing
Yeah.
with my big arms.
And we watch
the
as he's
pole.
like looking at you, and you're like facing out towards the sun, right as we're going towards this tower in the distance. And he looks at you from behind, and like we just see an eyebrow raise, and he goes, "Huh."
And Pen's
Funny
in front of
enough.
me, and I look at him, wrapped around my finger.
Oh, that's right, because he identifies more with fishermen and.
Oh.
Mm,
So
The down to earth folk. There you go.
travel picks up, and we make our way around to the other side of the island. I'll go ahead and pull up the map for everyone at home as well, so we can kind of see what is going on here. Might mess with the closed captions for a second here, but so going off of what we did have, Penn, fortunately we don't have to follow that arrow anymore. We take off on the boat, and we find ourselves heading in this direction over here now. He has let you know that there is only one way for us to get onto this island, and it is getting into a little inlet here and past one of these shipwrecks. As you get closer and the waves start pounding against the boat towards the rocky outcroppings of this particular little island, he looks at all of you and says, "Right, she knows what she's doing. Can anyone else help? Because we're going to need to move real quick."
I can blast the broken ship in front of us into pieces.
Honestly, I like where it is right now instead of maybe not knowing where it's going to end up.
Okay, that's all I got.
Right.
Simply give me instructions, so I'll do my best.
Yeah, and I don't know enough about boats, but he gives a bunch of like different instructions about how to maneuver the sails, the tiller, and various different portions, as well as handing a couple of you a paddle to make some really hard turns by just digging it down into the water and assisting the boat and maneuvering around these rocks. So what I'm going to need from a lot of people is athletics checks.
Oh,
Yes, I can do that.
This is a group athletics check.
Oh God. Wait,
I'm gonna use my
group?
natural 20 for this.
Okay, so Thaddeus, what's the total?
Where is that?
That's a 21.
All right, 21. Okay, Pen.
24.
Pen and I are useless right now. We're just
and
holding on to each other for dear life.
Balra, the Knight of Death will absolutely assist
Solid.
in this, so he will go ahead and roll a strength check as well. Oh, he rolls an 8.
Oh, not great. but-
Yikes.
Dang.
Oh,
So
die.
size doesn't mean everything, huh?
no, I think something happens here.
But no,
God.
but I'm so strong.
You are so strong, and you know what? Fine, you know what? I'll do it.
That
I'll
is
do
actually
it. I'll do
very.
that.
I mean, a 24 is.
yeah,
very
but
impressive.
it's gonna be
I got 2 arms.
6
And a 21.
plus 4.
Is she gonna Captain
plus
America?
24 plus.
the Captain America scene.
Okay.
Just one arm, pull it in.
The average is a 12 and a half.
Oh my God.
Could be a lot worse, honestly.
It could be a lot worse. But it is a 12 and a half. As you kind of maneuver around here, we do hear this like scraping against the side of the boat as this stone kind of digs into the side. And he goes, "Oh, do not like the sound of that. Quick. All right, we're just going to run her aground then. We can't take on much water." And he is going to run the boat aground onto the beach. And in front of us, as we do hit the beachhead here, unpictured, because why would I ever picture anything? You find yourselves in a bit of a sticky situation. In between the broken ship of
Oh my god.
What in the...
the shipwreck's past, two enormous reptiles sit on the beach, and they move rapidly in your direction. I'm gonna need everyone to roll me some initiative.
Oh, dear.
Don't forget to select your token.
Click token.
Yes.
Oh, high rolling today.
Yeah, buddy. Gotta love that +6 initiative.
Oh wait, I gotta hold on. That didn't work because I gotta do the.
I regret to say, all I'm looking at is a big
What's
black
your-
screen.
Oh, I got you.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, I forgot to update that for your token. My bad. Good to go. So, if you at home feel like you need to help anyone in this particular moment with the combat with giant crocodiles, because why not? Yeah.
You act like you didn't write this.
Yeah, okay. Exclamation point fate in the chat. Yeah, one of these previous skulls that we drew, turns out made this 2 of them. So, we are going to go ahead and roll up into this initiative order. Oh, it's a good day.
So big.
They are very big.
That was the initiative for Night of Death, sorry.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, it popped in there.
All right, and now for the big boy Crocs.
There was a firefight.
There was a firefight! I definitely told. Thaddeus McCormick at a 24.
Good roll.
How
Wowee.
big
All
are they?
right.
How big are these puppies?
They look large.
Like
3 times our
10 feet across, if not larger. Yeah, they're
Cross?
Okay.
they are over 10 feet like wide, and you know the way that we do the circles here, they're like 10 by 10, right? But they're gonna be, you know, probably 8 feet across and like 15 feet long. We just say they occupy a 10 by 10 area.
So they look pretty strong, like physically strong.
What does
Yeah,
that do?
they're pretty freaking big.
That eliminates this idea then. All right. It never stops. Well, let's see. B is right next to him. I suppose it's time for our old tricks again, Miss Perennial.
We do a fun little hand thing.
It goes off flawlessly.
Somatic components and B perennial.
Touch me with your good hands.
Oh no!
Oh god.
Okay.
She
Hug. Damn.
grows from medium to large, double their size, 8 times her weight.
Oh my god.
She get
Advantage on
big.
strength checks and strength saving throws, and an extra D4 damage for each attack.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Okay. That is your action, sir. Do you want to move at all as you stand in the waves of the beach behind you here?
Yeah, he's gonna stay behind her if as best he can. without getting
Yeah,
too
like,
deep.
go get him, Tiger. You got this. Awesome. Okay. Do. I suppose it is a good idea for you to do that. Oh Lord, they coming. Faster than you probably expect. These enormous
Oh my god.
crocs
Oh my god.
Whoa.
make their way towards you.
I swear to god.
And bite and tail attack. One bite against Dressay, a tail attack
my God.
against Balra. The bite's gonna hit, Dressay.
Great.
It's a natural 20, Dressay.
Oh no.
you.
She's immediately dead.
Yeah.
It is 34 points of damage.
Are you fucking shitting my dick?
I am not. And you are in its mouth. Held there restrained. The
Can I
tail
use a
attack
reaction?
is a 13 to hit Balra and will miss. Yes, what is your reaction?
The stopwatch, the pocket watch will come out, and he will use a chronal shift on the big thing. It's within 30 feet, right?
Absolutely.
Sure looks like it.
Yeah.
Does it reroll its attacks?
You can make it. Reaction after you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. You can force a reroll. So I'm trying to force it to fail instead of succeed. So that spherical glass-like distorted bubble shoots out from him in a 30-foot radius and is attempting to undo that attack.
And we all get that weird coppery taste in our mouth again.
Yes, we do.
And Dressay, the jaws of the beast snap just in front of you.
It worked?
It rolled a 9.
It finally worked.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Against B, a bite and a tail attack here. It is a 22 and a 23 to hit for both attacks.
Wow. That
other one?
hits.
Okay.
I can't do that twice in a turn. Sorry.
It's
I don't
going
have
to
any
be.
like attack, defend, counterattack stuff yet, do I?
You are a psychic
4.
fighter. You have something you can do with that, but I can't remember if it's not. I think you have like some psychic ability to like reduce their attacks by like a
Yeah,
D4
by like
or something.
1d6, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll.
But like, here's you have an 18. One of these is a 22. Do you want to do that? Do you want to spend your psychic die in a reaction to try and get one of them to miss?
It won't make a miss though.
A D6? If you rolled a 6?
Oh, to knock down their jam? Oh.
Right. So if you roll, well, hang on. What is your AC? 18? Oh. Yeah. If you roll a 5 or a 6, one of these will miss. Or do you just want to take it?
Fuck this. Can I only use this one time?
It should be as many times as it's a reaction, and it's likely as many times as you have psychic die. The psychic die is the limiting factor. Right?
Okay. Yeah, then I'll try.
Okay. So you need
It's
a
1d6.
D6.
It stings. It stings. It's scary and it stings.
It's scary and it stings.
Roll 1d6. Go. A 4.
A 4, I believe, puts it right at an 18, which will still hit. You needed a 5
Yeah.
or a 6.
So I throw a protective field up.
The result of this is going to be 27 total points of damage, and I need you to roll an athletics or a strength saving throw, please.
All right, I have advantage on these. 17.
Okay, absolutely. 17, you are not knocked prone, but you are indeed in the mouth of the beast. It can like kind of hold you here, but you're not fully incapacitated, so you just can't move as it's got its jaws on you. But while it does, it can't bite anything else, so.
Did you say 27 damage?
Yeah.
Oh my god. We're gonna die, guys.
Yeah.
That's okay. Death loves us.
True. Dressay, time has shifted once again. What do you want to do?
Do I know
Gator
that
meat
it's
is delicious. Burn him. Sorry, I got it.
Do I know that it's happened?
Yeah. I put the boat. Yeah, if you want, I mean,
Just saw it appear.
yeah, there's a boat.
Thank you.
Oh my god, I love it. Little
What is
little
what is
dinghy.
Tug
Yeah.
doing? Out of curiosity.
That's what I'm getting Tug out here. Okay, he's
okay.
he's making sure the ship's not gonna blow up, and he says you're doing a great job. Yeah, keep it up.
Thanks, Dad. Okay.
A sailor, not a fighter.
Yeah, he's an old man.
You know what? I'll blow Thaddeus a kiss for saving my ass.
Nice. Okay.
He may or may not blush.
That means he did.
True.
Let's see here. How? So it's still here, right?
Oh, Thaddeus, you have a nat 20 for yourself.
Ooh.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
chat.
much. Thank you, Sarah.
Very kind.
Okay. Hold on. Can
You got 2 in your pocket.
I'll-
Oh no, you used one of these, right?
I'll move here.
Ooh, opportunity of attack. Be careful.
Yeah. So
well,
they will make attacks of
Wait,
opportunity.
I can't even if I'm moving.
You can't.
Like
If you
this?
move away
Yeah.
from him, he gets an opportunity of attack, which means
you-
he could hit you for that damage again.
Oh.
Yeah, you're moving out of his threat.
You're also moving away from your healers.
You can choose to make your action to disengage, which means
just
it
say
will
has-
not be able to get that attack against you, but your action will be gone.
Okay.
Just has like a flashback to when her and Thaddeus were talking about strategy.
Yeah, I was gonna say like consider this like Dressay like using the knowledge she learned, like us
Well,
helping
yeah, but
you.
she's not alone is the thing. Like, she
Right.
is with other people, but it's just the problem of like,
But it's
she's
like
just,
right
like-
on her, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
She knows she's not feeling great, but she also doesn't leave Balra. But like,
It's okay. I
You know,
embrace death.
True.
Okay, let's see. You know what? Okay. You know what?
Pen, you're up next, by the way.
All right.
I'm gonna try to. I want to do this. I want to do this on the one in front of me.
Agonazer's Scorcher. Yeah, you
Cool.
can absolutely do this. This is Agonazer's Scorcher is a good spell.
yeah,
Agonazer's Scorcher is good spell.
Yeah, it
I can
is.
cast it at level 2, right?
Do you have a level 2 spell slot available?
Yeah, I have one left.
Okay, then yes, you can. Okay, so Agonazer's Scorcher, as I just kind of pop this bad boy down here and we blast across this man's with some fire, he's going to have to make a bit of a dexterity saving throw to get the heck out of the way of this thing and try and reduce the damage. Now, let's see
He's too
how
big
this goes.
though, right? He's
he
too
is
big. He's gonna be
very big.
blasted.
He is very big. The spell save DC is a 14, and he rolls a 12. So he will take the full 16 points of damage as Agonazer's Scorcher blasts across him here. What does it look like
I
when you
was
cast
wa-
the spell?
Huh? What does it look like?
Yeah, what does it look like when you cast the spell?
So, it's this huge, just like when you, what is it? When you turn on the what is it? I'm suddenly blanking. What's the thing? Flame. The
Lighter.
no
Ignition.
Like the,
Flamethrower.
Fireplace.
No, like the thing that they use to crisp the creme brulee.
Brulee.
Oh, a blowtorch.
Yeah, blowtorch. It's like that, but like big and just
Nice.
I saw my brain is mush. It just goes.
It's
It just suddenly, instantaneously.
big fire.
Cool.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. So like a blowtorch from your hands as you extend them, blasting fire across this crocodile. It hisses out at you in pain. Yeah, you deal a good amount of damage here. Are there any bonus actions that you would like to take? You do have movement available as well, but again, you're kind of, without taking an attack of opportunity, you kind of had to like stick to the sides of it to avoid that. But
Oh, I see.
yeah, you have
This
to like
doesn't have the
stay in the threat range of the creature, otherwise you're risking that attack.
5e
Damn it,
doesn't
yeah.
do the 5-foot step thing,
I mean,
right?
I
Correct.
can't do anything. Then I mean, I can't really move without risk of getting killed here.
Yeah, I was
because-
just seeing if there was if you had any bonus actions you wanted to take, and that was
Do
all.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. Then.
Good to go?
Yeah.
All right, Pen.
Thaddeus will say he's gonna quit. Just, you know.
Yeah.
As soon as she like scorches this thing, he's like, I always wanted to try roast gator.
Nice. Pen, you rush up to this crocodilian alligator. I don't even know what they are, I'll be honest. They're one of the two.
I'm gonna kind of rotate around them, and I'm going to use Tasha's caustic brew, and drop a 30-foot line
Of caustic nonsense.
Yeah, like it'll.
Yeah, the best thing that I have for this is the wall of fire, so I'm just gonna drag that back out again, and we're gonna just make that fit. So it's a 30-foot, right? And I think we can kind of angle that bad boy to hit both. Yeah, we'll hit both of them. All right, so go ahead and roll me Tasha's caustic brew here. What does this look like when you cast it?
So basically, my hands are gonna like just for like a split second are gonna like turn into two different cannons. And just I'm a black, like just like a bunch of acid is gonna like just start like lurching out of it, and just spread out across the battlefield.
Okay.
And then turn back to normal hands.
Yeah.
He's a Mega Man.
This spell is ridiculous in that both of them fail their save. They are covered in acid for the spell's duration until it uses an action to scrape it or wash the acid off itself or another creature. It takes 2d4 acid damage at the start of its turn. So they do not take any damage currently, but we will give them little markers here for the time being that at the start of their turns, they will take 2d4 damage until they scrape it off. They have to use an action to do so.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. That is your action, sir. Do you have any bonus actions you would like to take?
That is gonna be all. I think that's gonna be all I can do for right now. Yeah, that'll be all I can do.
All right. Excellent. The Knight of Death. I think he's going to assist B. He's going to come up here and attempt to distract the great beast with his greatsword here. Going to give it two swings, an 11 and a 22. The 22 will definitely hit. It will hit for 12 slashing damage. So a pretty good hit on that front. Excellent. B.
Baba cheers him on.
Yeah, B. You are stuck in the mouth. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna wrestle this gator.
Uh-huh.
So B's got rope.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
B's got rope, and what B would like to do.
He's got rope and strength advantage.
Uh-huh.
She gonna bondage that gator?
I want to bondage. I want to
Hell yeah.
get this gator into something nasty.
Where is your rope?
It's in my my pockets.
You have 50 feet of rope in a pocket.
Is that what we're doing?
I want to know where it is.
Up your butt.
I do think
Nature's
B,
pocket. There you go. It's a nature's pocket.
B.
B doesn't have many.
B. The answer here is on my belt.
On my belt.
Perfect.
That's what I was going for. Cause
Yeah.
she doesn't have much of a hip, so she likes to store all of her stuff around her hips, make it look like she got bigger hips.
Perfect. You've got
she's about to
your
deflate her
rope
left hip
around your
here.
belt like every good adventurer would, right? Just in case you need it. The issue here is you are clamped in the jaws of the creature. So it's going to be pretty difficult while you're restrained like this to get it bound. It will be an athletics check contested. Due to your restraint, you have disadvantage on the check, but due to your size, you have advantage. So it is a straight roll for you to attempt to wrap this thing with rope.
And I have +1 d4 on any roll?
What
What's
is
the rule on that?
What is that?
It's +4 on damage.
On damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because your weapon is bigger, it does more damage.
Gotcha. Well, I gotta get out of this mouth anyway, so. Yeah. You son of a bitch. And I think she's gonna try to get out of the restraint of the mouth.
Okay, sure. Same thing. It's going to be an athletics check with advantage. because you're just trying to escape here, right? So your focus is on that and your
wait.
size. What?
But I do want to wrestle it. Let me figure out.
So it
Yeah.
takes an action to get out of the mouth.
Okay.
So you will not be able to wrestle it on this turn.
But with
So
your
why do
bonus
I have
action, you can
advantage
ready your
now?
rope.
No. So if I misunderstood, you said I want to get out of the mouth. I took that as I'm not wrestling it, I'm getting out of the mouth. Which is a different thing than
Ultimately,
trying to
yes.
wrap it in rope. Right?
Yeah, but I
Okay.
can't wrap it in rope right now because I'm in the mouth.
You can. It is harder to do while you're in the mouth. But you cannot do both on your turn, right? You can choose to get out of the mouth or choose to try and wrestle it from inside its mouth on this turn.
Think of it like 2 steps. Like
It
you're
is a-
currently holding the
yeah.
mouth open.
I
So
know.
it'd be 1 action to easily, or not easily, it's used for nails to get out of the mouth. But in order to wrestle it with a rope, you'd have to get out and then pull rope and wrestle. So it would be a lot.
So here's okay. You can. Do you want to wrestle it?
Yes.
Roll me an athletics check.
Okay.
You got this.
23.
Damn.
Bitch, yes.
You tied.
No,
Beats
we
beats.
didn't.
God.
Meets beats, right?
It is a contested
mouth.
check. So I'll say this.
Son of a bitch.
You get half of it. You are still in its mouth, and you get like the rope halfway around, and it's pinned like its right forearm underneath itself.
Okay.
But otherwise, it is not fully bound.
I am so impressed.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess. So for my bonus action, I need to use second wind.
Okay. Yeah, so that'll be a D10. And then plus your fighter level here.
Yeah. Roll. Please. 5. Okay. So that's gonna be 9.
Okay, 9 total.
Yeah. I recover 9 total hit points. And then teeth still digging into my arm.
Yep, okay. Balra.
Hi.
Hi.
Balra's like cheering beyond. I was like, yes. I can't tell if she's a dom or sub. And she's gonna I feel like she could probably sense a little panic off of Jose. Whatever happened to Jose, that I didn't witness reversing, but she knows. She's going to firstly point her finger at the croca alligator in front of Jose and use Toll the Dead.
Propagator, perfect, yeah.
It has taken damage, so if it doesn't succeed, it does a d12.
Yep.
It's a wisdom
It
save
is a
against
6.
a 14.
So roll a
Okay.
12 for me.
That's all caps.
Ooh.
Necrotic.
Nice.
And then she's gonna reach over and touch Dresse, and she's going to apply Shield of Faith on you,
Okay.
which gives you a +2 AC bonus. And it doesn't look shiny and shimmery. It looks like ichor and decay, but it's forming a shield like around you. But now you have a +2 AC, so.
Do I just add that to my armor class?
Whenever
We
it
just
tries
we
to
just keep
fight
it in
you,
mind.
It's just a +2 on top of
Yep.
it.
Oh, okay.
I've got a little symbol on your token there.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
we'll keep track of it, okay? And Balra, you are concentrating on this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are currently in the threat range of it, so moving out of the way could incur an attack of opportunity. Do you want to move or do you want to stay?
No.
Okay.
She'll just stay and pray.
Thaddeus, what do you want to do?
Oh boy. The things we do. He is going to. What's this one? And this one is. Yeah. So, as familiar as we've seen before, he's going to hyper focus on a point in space time right behind the gator on the left.
Yes.
And magnify gravity,
Okay.
capturing it in its wake.
Wow. We give it a little gravitational pull. Con save.
14 is the
They're pretty
DC,
thick boys,
sir.
and I rolled a natural 1 out of 4.
Yes.
Okay, 2d8 force damage at speed is halved until the next turn. Nice.
10?
Okay, yeah. That's really good. Another 10 points of damage as we watch as like the back side of this thing and its scales is just crushed by the gravitational pull, and there's this sickening snapping sound as its right rear leg just gets mangled.
All right, and he's going to utilize his cooperative bonus action, Tandem Tactician, with
Yes.
B, to attempt to distract the gator enough that it makes it easier for her to subdue and wrestle this thing.
Okay, love that. Can do it. We'll say like magical sparkles of light around its eyes or something trying to distract it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Love that.
That sounds great.
Okay, at the top of their turns, what is it? What do we call it? Crocogators? The Crocogators take 2d. Did we say it's a 4 damage with the acid? Is that right, Pen?
2d4.
2d4 acid
Yes.
damage. Go ahead and roll me 2d4 for one. That's the left one is 4, and then the right one. Go ahead and roll
okay,
different
gotcha,
ones.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Because it could be higher, it could be
All
lower.
right.
Let's just roll both.
Okay, this is. I'll
be
take
the
it.
We'll take those. Awesome. Excellent. Yes, they are going to continue to do the thing. This one is mega mad at you, B. It cannot bite you again, but it is going to attempt to slam you with its tail. As it kind of like, we're gonna call it like death rolling you. It's gonna attempt to death roll you.
Oh.
You are in its mouth. It has advantage on this because you're restrained. I rolled a 28, which is a natural 20.
That's bad for me.
It is very bad. It is fortunate I rolled very low. I rolled an 18. So it's 18 points of damage. Oh, it could, yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
What's the max?
The max would be, what is that? That's 16, 42 is max.
God damn.
I think B hollers out. This rascal got me good.
On the other
I'm
side
feeling
of the
so
field,
hot.
this one here, I'm gonna roll. There are 3 people in front of it here. Pen, you are 1. Jersey, you are 2. Bulwer, you are 3. I'm gonna roll just a D3 here. Pen. Pen will suffer the wrath. The 12 will miss. Fortunately, the bite does not connect, but the tail out of the corner of your eye here, you do see it, but it connects hard for 16 points of damage, and I need a strength saving throw, please.
Gotcha. Yeah, let's go and do
A
Remember, Kat,
12.
You can help the players out.
You are
with
slammed
nat 20s.
backwards into the boat through the rotting wood and knocked prone.
Oh.
Ow. He said, what was it, 16?
Is 16 total bludgeoning damage
Okay, gotcha.
as it launches you across. Okay. Give
All
these nat 20s to Blurred and Stella with my regards. Done. All right, Blurred, Stella, you have 2 nat 20s.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Dressay, Arkham.
Thanks,
Arkham.
Arkham. You get to live today. Okay, cool. So, how bad is this gator in front of me looking?
Not. I mean, it looks about half as healthy as when you first saw it.
Oh boy,
Okay, so
is there a problem?
okay, so how tall is it?
Tall? If it like pushes up on its forelegs, it's probably like close to your height.
Okay, so it's like splooted.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're like most gators are. They stay pretty low to the ground.
Okay. I would like to do something kind of wild.
Tell me about it.
I would like to hop on top of it, on top of its head. And I will need your help in turning one of the sorcery points into a thing, like
Into a
the
thingy.
spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you can do when you spend sorcery points is that the amount of sorcery points you spend the half of them is the recovered spell slot. So like if you spend 2 sorcery points, you get a level 1 spell slot back. If you spend 4 sorcery points, you get a level 2 spell slot back.
Okay, so what about level 3?
Level 3 spell slot,
Yeah.
you would need 6 sorcery points.
No, I don't. I do not
You have 4 max right now.
Okay, 4. You said for level 2, it would be how much again? 3?
It is 4 sorcery points
4?
for a level 2 spell slot. Right, we just take, it's half
Just 1.
for just
Okay.
1.
Okay, I'm gonna do that for level 2. And actually, I'm gonna, since this is within 20 feet, can I go over to? Can I run?
Again,
on top of-
you are risking an attack of opportunity unless you take your action to disengage.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, B. I can't risk it. I'm thinking about it, but I can't risk it because I'm also 14 health. I'm going to
Doing
jump on
better
top
than
of
me.
this head.
Okay. Yes, you can absolutely try to do this. It is going to be an acrobatics check. And it is
I
going
have
to try in a... What was that?
I have a
Use
nat-
your nat 20.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
absolutely use it. He's still going to roll a contest for it, just to, like, you know, just in case. Beth, you also picked up a nat 20. Thank you very much, Sarah. So
Thank you.
with your nat 20, what is the value with your acrobatics? So it's 20 plus.
20 plus with acrobatics.
Mhm.
I don't have anything in acrobatics.
Oh god.
so
I'm
it's just
sorry,
it's
I
a
did not
0.
expect
So
that.
it's just 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
No dex?
You have no dex bonus.
Oh, Dex. Let me see.
So
I thought you meant just acrobatics.
if I go look at it, oh no, you have no dex bonus. Okay, yeah. All right, perfect. So it is just 20. My giant crocagator rolls a 0. And you leap up on top of him.
Okay, cool. Sorcery points now I have 0, right? Okay, cool.
You're spending
So-
them for a second level slot.
Yes.
Okay, then yes,
now
you
I
have
have-
0.
3. I would like to Burning Hands his eyeball.
Burning Hands his eyeball. Called shots are a little weird. You can absolutely Burning Hands though.
Wait, what do you mean?
So in general, 5e doesn't have a real good way of being like, I target this very specific portion of this very specific thing.
That's more for like a
Yeah.
detailed storytelling thing because eyeball's pretty fleshy, you know?
Eyeballs are pretty fleshy. And it is still trying to like shake you off, right? Like while you're up here, it's still constantly moving. You cast your spell. Go ahead and roll it for me. I will give him disadvantage on avoiding the damage due to you being right on top of him. And we'll see how it goes. He rolls a 7 with the disadvantage. You do 18 points of
God.
fire damage burned into him here.
Okay, his eyeball.
In his eyeball. It hurts him a lot. In his eyeball.
Yay! Okay. Cool. I will. I guess I'll that's all I can do, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Pen.
I'm good.
You are prone in a ship or surrounded by rotting and soaked wood.
I'm gonna. I guess I have to use some of my movement to get up. Correct.
It's half your movement to stand.
Okay. I'm gonna use half my movement to stand. And what to do? Let's see. Yeah, I can still get back in here. So I'm gonna get right up there and use my Thunder Gauntlet, and I'm gonna use my Nat 20.
Perfect. You Thunder Gauntlet with your Nat 20 as Dressay burns into the eyeball of the crocodilian creature. So go ahead and roll it for me.
All right, it'll be
Just because we want to get the rolls.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, Thunder Gauntlet. Doesn't Thunder Gauntlet apply with your strength as well? Or is it just thunder damage?
I think it's like just straight thunder damage, I believe.
Okay. So roll me 2d8. Because that's what the Nat
2d8?
20 would do. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And
Okay.
Oh man, low roll.
All right. 9 points of damage are blasted into the creature here, and it has disadvantage on targets. Attack rolls against targets that aren't you. Now it is technically taunted to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes 9 more points of damage. Excellent.
And then that's it.
Okay. Knight of Death. Gonna keep doing the thing. I think he yells out to Balra, Lady Balra, do you need assistance?
I, having just seen Pin like draw the Crocagator's attention, I think she's just gonna be like, I think you just that one for now.
As he
LB,
swings
she
his
doesn't look okay.
Yeah, as he swings his greatsword into the creature, a 14 will just hit both times, and he will deal 24 total points of damage to the Crocagator. Yeah, okay. He's in
Beefy
there.
boy.
All right, B.
I'm okay.
B, what do you want to do?
Well, now, do I just try to kill it?
It looks about half as healthy as when you started. It also has a
There's
rope
little red
around
bar above it.
one
It's
of
half
its
full.
4 paws, 4 claws, 4 things.
And I'm still in its mouth? Or did I get out of its
No,
I'm
you
still in its
you
mouth,
did not make any effort to get out.
Fuck. B. Stop playing around in that thing's mouth. I would like to stab it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Your restraint here does cause a disadvantage on your attack roll. Because you're like, remember, we have to actively remember, you are in this thing's mouth and it is shaking you about violently the entire time.
All right, I take it back then. I want to get out of its mouth.
You do have a nat 20. You can negate what I just said. I'm just saying that's the place that we're in.
I don't want to negate my disadvantage with an advantage. I want the double damage that comes with a nat 20 attack.
Sure.
And that won't happen if I use it right now.
You correct.
Because I'm restrained.
Yeah, pretty
So I'm
much.
going to get out first.
Okay. All right, so this is athletics check to get out. You have
Does she still
advantage
have
on
advantage?
these. Yep, you have advantage on these.
Very cool.
Athletics check. Let's go ahead and roll. Bada bing, bada boom. 21.
21. Yeah, you wrench the creature's mouth open, and you are free from its grip.
You unlucky bastard. I was going to wrestle you, but now, action surge.
Oh,
Action
boy.
surge. Yes, absolutely. And you want to use it now?
I do.
All right, give it to me. Go ahead and roll the attack so we can get the damage button out here.
All right, I'm going to pull my longsword out, drag it through the sand, bring it up underneath its mouth.
Okay. I need you to roll me 2d8. It'll be 2d8 plus 6 plus 2 because of dueling. So 2d8 plus 8.
Plus
Plus a
1d4.
Plus a d4. Yeah, wow.
So 2d8.
Uh-huh. It'll be 2d4
2d4.
because of the crit. So
Okay.
it's 2d8, 2d4 plus 8.
2d8 plus 2d4 plus 8. Wow.
Roll high.
Did I write this down right? 2d8, 2d4 plus 8? right?
No, we didn't get all of them.
I forget, it looks like you forgot a plus in there.
Oh, the plus.
Yeah,
between
so
these
there's
two.
no spaces between the plus. If you just hit up on your directional keys, it'll re-pull it and you can just edit it instead of typing it out again, but up to you.
So 2d8 plus
2d4,
2d4
plus
8. No spaces.
No spaces.
Except
Yes.
for between roll and the math.
nailed it.
Yes.
23
How's
total
23?
points of damage as you slam the sword into the roof of its mouth. Yeah. Wow. It goes from looking about a half as healthy as it was to, I don't know, like a quarter as healthy as it was when you first saw it.
His little health
There's
bar
an
went down.
immense amount of damage delivered to the creature. Yeah, wow.
Okay,
well
well
done.
then in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and use Psionic Strike. Once on each of your turns, immediately after you hit a target
Uh-huh.
and deal damage to it with a weapon, you can expand one psionic energy die, rolling it and dealing force damage to the target equal to the number rolled plus your Constitution modifier.
Okay. So it's a D6 plus your con mod.
God dang.
Finally.
I hope Tug's impressed.
Con modifiers 3. That's just that big number on the far left.
Correct. Okay.
Does 4 take him out?
4 more damage. Nope, but he looks pretty upset because as you jab into the top of his mouth, you expend one of your psionic die and it explodes the roof of his mouth. So that's kind of disgusting. He looks really much in pain.
Like fresh pizza.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. All right. B. Good job.
That's it.
Balra.
DM, if this skater is affixed on pendulum, will it still have an attack of opportunity?
Yes,
if I
just at
move?
disadvantage.
Okay. And I am not within range to touch B right now, am I?
Unfortunately, not.
Okay, story's sake. She's gonna, I think she would just be like, okay, it's looking at pendulum, and she's gonna try to literally take one step to the right.
And see what
to be
happens.
close.
All right.
Yeah.
It's going to, with disadvantage, lash out with its tail. It rolls a 17 to hit, Balra.
But yeah, she's got 15.
I need a strength saving throw.
Oh, she has disadvantage on that. Or not, she's not. Yeah, she's negative in that. So yay.
Okay.
If only a chat person gave me a d20. An 8.
You take one step, it whips around, slams you with the tail, and knocks you into the waves,
Oh, can
prone
I
into
I
the
love
water.
The water.
can I use
Yay.
my protective field on her as I see this happening next to me?
What does protective field do? Does it
When you
reduce
or another
the
creature
damage,
you
or-
see within 30 feet of you takes damage. Yeah, you can use your reaction
to reduce the damage?
to reduce.
Yeah. You still get hit. Let's see how much the damage is reduced. Go ahead and roll it.
7.
7. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, so the blow is cushioned greatly by B Perennial's psychic abilities.
She's throwing her hand out. that
Yeah.
way.
Oh, I love that we're using your psychic stuff right now. This is great. And you get slammed over to this side, prone in the water. I still need a Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration on Dressay's shield. It is a DC 10.
Okay. It's a 2. I lost
We
it.
lose it. Okay, Dressay's shield falls. All right. Balra, you're in the waves. You can still get up and move, but you just got slammed. So it takes half of your remaining movement, so 25 half down. You have 10 feet of movement left if you choose to stand up here, and you still have your action and other things.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna move right up to B, which is what I was trying to do.
We started at your token, unfortunately.
Okay. So right here, I guess then. And you said I still have my action.
You have your action and your bonus action remaining. Yeah, this was just you taking a step.
Okay. She will.
And nat 20 for the party. Thank you very much,
you.
Godfather.
Oh, wow.
I know what I'm doing next
Fantastic.
round.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We all got one?
Everyone got one.
Yeah, he jumped.
What?
He jumped to 50.
Yo.
Thank you so much.
Ew.
Okay. I think for her action, she's just gonna pull her crossbow, which she hasn't used very much, and still just aim it at this Krakengator who just slapped her and be like,
Uh-huh.
"That thing, I like the water," and try to shoot at it.
That's a 20 to hit. Nice. It does 4 points of damage. Absolutely. As it thoomph, hits it in the mouth with the
Just
crossbow.
like drenched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like toothpicks stuck in its face.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna summon her
Yeah.
spiritual weapon, but she's gonna summon it by the one that's been attacking B.
Sure.
and her,
Okay. Go ahead and roll that for me as I go grab the weapon from one of these.
Rolling the attack.
Oh, yeah.
Where is it's on my list? Somewhere in there. There it is. That's spiritual guardian. Oh, there it is. Bingo.
The bone saw's coming.
The bone saw.
Got you for 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes of playtime. Yes.
Spot on.
All right. Let's see. What was the attack roll for it? 24 for 6 damage. Yeah, definitely hits. Deals some more damage here. Looking good. All right. Nice.
She's like drenched and gonna pan at B. Thank you.
Stop! You're crying. Look at
I can't
you.
help it. I got salt in my eye. I'm sorry.
All right. Thaddeus.
Okay, so real quick,
Yeah.
I've been doing the charges wrong on this thing. I thought it was 1 per long rest, not 1d3 per long rest. So can I just roll that right now?
Charges on which thing?
The ring.
Oh, yeah.
We've had 2 long rests, right? Since I used it.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it was 2.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
I'm good with that. Which,
Oh.
you know, yeah. Go ahead and just roll 2d3.
Because we stayed the night at the end,
Uh-huh.
and then we stayed overnight in like the forest,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's 3. So I got all 3. So, okay. He's gonna take a step up here, lift his hand, use a nat 20, and point the ring at the gator that Dressay is standing on top of. And he just says, "We don't have time for this nonsense." Natural 20, you expending 1 charge. So since that uses an attack roll, that's a crit. Is that right?
Yes. Makes an attack roll a +7 bonus. It will automatically hit on hit. For each charge you spend, takes 2d10. So it'll be a 4d10 force damage.
So this blue, transparent head of a ram just flies out from the ring and slams into this thing at breakneck speed, dealing 23 force damage.
Yo.
Dressay, I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw as you are thrown forcibly from the back of this crocagator. Yeah, it gets hit with 23 force damage as the spectral ram's head slams into it and throws it backwards. You're getting tossed. It dies.
Pen?
It dies. It just like... Dexterity saving throw. 4. You land a little awkward and you end up prone on the ground. You take 3 points of damage.
But 2 is negated, so I get 1, right? It's just 1.
2 is negated from what?
Oh wait, no, that's armor class. Never mind.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's
that's
gone
gone now.
anyways.
Because
Okay.
'Cause I got
Balrog
tail
got
whapped.
Oh
slapped.
yeah.
Oh right. Okay. So okay.
Just take
So
the 3,
right?
and that's it.
No,
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
All right, Thaddeus, that was your action. Anything else?
Yeah, he's gonna. Jeez. What is he gonna do? I'm trying to decide if I should use this or not. Yeah, I think he will. He's gonna move over here and basically try to help her up.
Okay. Yeah, you extend a hand and get her back to her feet.
Because he
Yeah.
threw me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an unintended side effect.
Okay.
I want to
So
ask.
cool.
So I'll say to Thaddeus, did you see what I did? I scorched his eyeball.
And as he's picking her up, very impressive, miss.
Oh, thank you.
Hair flip.
All right, I need
It's
2d4
like cool 'cause it's
from
all
Penn.
fiery.
Oh, speaking of, since I got hit, I don't think I did my.
Oh, I need a con save. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Good
lean
save.
on Thaddeus a little bit extra, a little bit more than I have to.
That'll be. Oh wait, no, that's just the one. That's just the one. The other one's
Correct.
Just
So it'd be
the 4.
4. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the creature is like falling, like it's all this acid all over it. It is going to attempt to bite and tail, and the bite is going to find purchase maybe on the Lady B. It's a 23 to hit, B.
My armor class is 18.
Damn.
And you've actually already used your reaction. So you cannot reduce the... Okay. Okay. It is 25 piercing damage.
B falls.
B goes down as it is... She is dragged around in the creature's mouth. The tail will hit the mark on the Knight of Death at a 25 for 13 bludgeoning damage. And he will roll a strength saving throw. He succeeds. It is not knocked prone, but he does take the 13 total points of damage.
It's too far for my reaction.
Okay. Jersey, what do you want to do? You watch B fall to the ground.
Blood
I wanna-
trickling from her mouth.
I want to run over. I think 30 feet is the max, right? I'll run
30 feet is your standard movement, yes.
Okay, I think that's yes. Are you okay?
She does not respond.
Okay. Let's see. I'm close enough. How's this thing looking again? Is it 25?
It looks really rough.
Looks really rough. Okay.
Yeah.
How much damage does this do? I want to witch bolt it.
Okay. Yeah. So Witch Bolt is a spell attack. So you'll need to roll me Witch Bolt.
Okay.
A 20 to hit. Did you cast it at a higher level? Do you have slots left?
I do. I had 2, so now
You had 2 level 2 spell slots?
yeah.
Okay.
So this is yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Sure.
Is that your new token?
Yeah, I'm dead. All right, this is my dead token.
There's nothing else to do here. The Witch Bolt comes flying out and deals 23 total points of damage, slamming into the creature with all lightning force. It dies. It absolutely dies. B falling limply out of its mouth here. And that's your action, Jersey. We will sit on the turn order until B's fate is sealed. Anything else?
I can't move anymore, right? Because like
You
I
moved 30. You used your action. You have a bonus action remaining.
Can I use the bonus action to run over to her?
Unfortunately not. You
No.
do not. That is
Okay.
the dash action, which is a full
Okay,
action.
that's fine. I'm good then.
Okay.
I guess.
Pen.
With the enemies taken care of, I see that B has fallen. I'm gonna actually use. Actually, can I even get over there? Let's see. Just barely. Okay, so yeah, I'll walk over and kneel down beside her, and I'll say, "You fought valiantly." And I'm gonna do a medicine check.
Okay.
Try and stabilize
We're
her.
gonna stay. 16 is absolutely enough to stabilize, which will move us off of the turn order here. We watch as Tug jumps off the boat, looks around. Is she gonna be okay?
She will live.
Is that him?
Yes, it is Master Tug.
Why? Why do I feel like I know him from another life?
It's possible that you are delirious. You have fallen in battle. You probably believe you died. Again.
Pan, it's as if I knew him once before I met him. Inexplicably, our souls are drawn to each other. I can't
And I'm just
explain
gonna
it.
I'm just gonna look down and look over at Tug and say, I believe the lady wants you. And I'm gonna stand up and just walk off.
And he'll like kneel down in the sand next to you. Not much for healing. What do you need?
We got so much in common, you and I.
Is that right?
I don't know how to talk to crying women. Neither do you.
That's a lot in common, you're right.
I got this familiar feeling. First time you ordered me around, it was like you'd done that before. I'd never met you, though. What is that, Tug? What would you call that, Tug?
I think you're, seeing things, but, you, best be putting your eyes elsewhere. I'm just an old dwarf. I don't need you to be joking around with me like this.
So you don't have any flesh feelings for me?
Flesh what now?
All right. I know where I'm not wanted.
Oh, what? He places one of his, like, old, gnarled hands on your shoulder.
Ow.
Don't move too fast. You've puncture wounds all over you from where the teeth are, rented, like, through your armor. You're not just poking fun like you high society folk do, are you?
I only know you for a couple hours. And yet, I got a little tinkle in my chest.
That's probably... And he, like, pulls out one of the teeth of the creature from your chest. I mean, it was probably that, but...
Please, Tug. Jesus Christ.
That guy's
I
more
think
dense
B
than
will
I am.
take it. B will take it from him.
He goes, right, well, let's, He looks around. Hey, what are you lot sitting around for? Help her out!
I believe you are doing all the help that is required right now, so Tug.
You got it, man.
Do I look like I have any bandages on me? And he, like, points at, like... B's blood is, like, running rivers into the water that is, like, washing up on shore here.
I feel like Balra had come up to try to heal, but was like, there was this moment that she was just like,
She's literally bleeding out, please.
I just did. Can you move?
Yeah,
It
so
can go
now
on
would be
that
a good
side.
time for you
so
to
can
say
still make eye
things, you know?
contact.
Yeah, and he backs away and lets you do whatever you were gonna do.
She's gonna like, I has arguably for argument's sake for combat. I can use an action and a bonus action.
Yeah, you
No,
have
I
time.
can't.
You have plenty of time to do stuff.
I'm just gonna use cure wounds on her.
You can do both. You want to do cure wounds and
No. But what she will do is, as she's doing cure wounds, she's going to look up at Tug and be like, I don't know how successful this will be. So if you have anything you want to say to her.
I thought you lot were the immortals.
I mean, we've had a hard day. So,
He looks right. He looks very frustrated now. Fix her then.
wow, you're so passionate about her being and her wellness. That's so kind of you. So it looks at B.
Do it. Fix me, then.
She's like trying to heal you. And I give you, I mean, you have 7 HP up, but
Oh, good.
Yeah, it stops the like immediate bleeding. It heals over the like surface wounds.
yeah, she's gonna look over her shoulder at Thaddeus and be like, I know we have an urgency to get to this dragon who's like, I'm sure right there, but just in case things go wrong with it, I think we should still rest. She's gonna need some time. And, you know, kind hands and tea maybe, looking at Tug, and maybe some stories and, you know.
And your stew.
I'm not a child.
I don't need to be
No.
treated like a child.
No, that's
You
not
ain't being
childish
treated
things.
like a child, miss. You're being treated like someone on their deathbed.
Which she's not anymore, is that right?
And she's gonna like push
Fine.
Bee's head back down into the sand. She's very close.
Help me get her on the boat. He points
You don't
up.
have anything to say to her?
He points up the beach, and you can see the lighthouse there. And you see this tower, and you see that there are like windows and things as well. You have no idea what's in there, and they could be looking at us right now.
Actually, I do know what is in there. At least one of them.
You lot are incredibly weird. I think you should take a rest on the boat.
We don't have time.
He looks around and looks at B and looks at Dressay and you and Balra and is like, I think you should make the time.
Yeah, I agree with very seasoned fisherman Tug here. There might be more of these guys between us and that lighthouse.
Master
All right.
Pendulum, I would ask a favor of you.
Ask it, Mr. McCormick.
We will take a rest, but I would ask the impossible favor that you try to keep that connection you have open, so if things do get dire, we can leave at a moment's notice.
I will do my best.
You see this little piece of bone?
Yes, yeah.
He tugged that out of me.
That's very special.
And scene. We're done. We're way over time. We're done.
Oh my god!
We're done.
No! Oh my
That's
god.
where we're ending. I don't care. It's happening right here. He tugged that out of me.
I think we found our video clip
Yeah.
for the next session.
God damn. Thank you guys very much for being here this evening. This has been DieFall Presents Ruined Auric. We're going to go around, have our lovely cast tell you where they can find them. And then we're done. We'll raid someone and call it a day. Playing B Perennial II, Beth B Rad. Where can we find you on the internet?
Beth B. Rad on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I am live streaming on Twitch every Monday, and I'm trying to do like a Thursday, Friday, one of those, and we'll do like art on Mondays and then games at the end of the week. I also have two podcasts, Your Art Friends, which is a comedy art podcast, and then D&D, Dinner and Dungeons and Dragons, which is a comedy D&D podcast, and you might be interested in checking that out if you like this show.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Playing Pendulum, Blurred Without Fear. Where can we find you on the internet?
Oh, you can find me on youtube.com/blurred without fear. I talk about comic books, comic book movies, and comic book TV shows. And I live stream a show called The Blurred Cave every Saturday. It starts at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Playing Balra, the lovely Simply Jackson. Where can we find you on the internet?
Hi, it's me. You can find me at Twitter or Twitch, which is simply_Jackson if you search either one. I am not doing much except for just enjoying the end of the year, and I get like a week off for the holidays, so what's up? But starting the new year, I get an extra day off of work, so every week, so I might get it back into a more consistent streaming schedule, which I'm excited about. So yeah, that's me. Hi, hello, that's it.
What,
That's all I
Thaddeus?
got. What?
Can I introduce the next person?
Oh, please.
Yes?
Who is it?
Thanks, Jackson. That was great.
No, you're good.
Can everyone in chat please welcome our next person here, newly minted Twitch partner, Parallax Stella.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I didn't know!
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Where
7
can we
years.
find Parallax Stella, the newest of Twitch partners on the internet?
Twitch.tv/ParallaxStella, and everywhere else is the same thing except for Instagram. That is the real Parallax Stella. And I guess the only thing that I have coming up really that I'm super interested in sharing with y'all is Sunday 11 a.m. PST. I am producing, casting, and hosting the Lenovo Legion Masters Apex tournament for South America. So Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh,
Sick.
that's sick.
Congratulations on 2 fronts. Well done. Woo.
Also, highly recommend her Instagram. I know it's one extra word on her name.
I
but
did a lift dedicated
highly
to
recommend.
Leslie.
That's
Yes.
true.
I'm very happy.
There's a lot of very beautiful things happening there. Please
So sweet.
check it out.
Well, same with your Instagram. She posts so much beautiful
My Instagram
art.
has shit happening. Go follow.
Playing Thaddeus McCormick Phenomenon. Where can we find you on the internet?
Twitch.tv/phenomenon. Primarily am a retro broadcaster. A lot of focus on RPGs. Playing Final Fantasy 6T edition this week, which is a huge content addition to 6, but still keeps the story and spirit of the game intact. So it's been a lot of fun. I also am building up my Discord community. We're going to be running monthly one-shots for D&D there. We're going to hire DMs to do that for us. So if you're interested in being a part of that, maybe you want to play D&D yourself, you never had a chance. Players new and old are all welcome. So I'd ask you to check that out. You can find my Discord on, discord.phenomenon.tv.
Nice. Thank you very much. Hi, I'm Runaway Robot. This is my channel, so you probably already know that I DM some stuff and we do Dungeons & Dragons things probably way too often. It's been great being here. Thanks for watching, Auric. It's been a pleasure to be back. And until next time, goodbye.